And we're back to being lost. Maybe we'll be found?
Maybe.
Tss.
Not a certainty there.
Listen, as long as the thing we don't find while we're like searching for a way out is a Wendy's, I think we'll be good.
What about a Waffle House?
That'd be even more dangerous.
I know, right?
Yeah, that is the arena in which heroes are born.
True.
The Crucible of Champions.
I can't remember who said it, but there was a comedian I used to follow who's just been like, have you ever been to a Waffle House? I've been to several, and every time I've gone there, I've seen a gun. And I was just like, yeah, as it should. Okay, that's
no, well, when all of humanity goes to shit, we know that our last line of defense are Waffle House employees.
Oh, yeah.
And they will be open.
Mm-hmm. For a while, I had a friend who was obsessed with the fact that a Waffle House is always open, so he'd be like, that's where we eat. And I was just like, I will go with you because I can smoke in there.
It's not like they care.
I live in one of the states that doesn't have a Waffle House, so I've never actually been to one. But I've heard stories.
I live in a hemisphere that doesn't have a Waffle House. I am just like relaying other people's experiences.
Well, no, the like malaised and almost distant like dread of, I've heard stories.
Yes, that's exactly how it was meant to come across.
Have you seen? There was I don't remember where I saw it, but I saw this image going around about the true domain of dread being the back lot of a Denny's.
And that's the one where Miss Tweetums is the Dreadlord.
Yes.
There's this one picture I saw that was a Waffle House on top of a Walmart, and like someone was asking for it to be like a Taken or Dead or Alive type of stage when you can break from one into another like while fighting. Like start on the Waffle House and break into the Walmart.
Yeah, and you didn't tell me that was an edited image, so you showed that to me once, and I was just like, oh, I believe it. I live in the Midwest. I believe I would see that on the side of a road.
A Waffle Mart.
Good Lord.
But yeah, hey, while we're waiting for people to cycle in, do we want to just start going around the horn?
Yeah.
All right, Citric, why don't you go first? Oh.
Sure thing. Hi, I'm Citric. You can find me pretty much everywhere at Citric King, and by everywhere I mean Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and try and poke and see if I am anywhere else. I might be. It's kind of a game there. Yeah, I post stuff there. Sometimes I've been doing like a monthly commission thing, so that might happen again. That might not. You need to check to know. But yeah, that's me. And what about Sheila?
I'm Sheila, and I use one social media platform. It's Instagram. It's mostly for cosplay. I go by mugimira.cos, Mugimira. And yeah, that's the only platform you can find me.
You should take a look. Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
Citric, go. Citric, go.
No, I was just about to say the same, like the Zelda Majora's Mask group cosplay you guys did is just fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. That was so nostalgic to me. I haven't finished a lot of the Zelda games. I've started and given up and had my brother finish them mostly. But Majora's Mask is one I finished all the way, and this is a side quest I loved, so thank you.
Like
She's
as someone who has
good Anju. Oh my gosh.
yeah, she is. Yeah, no, as someone who has played every Zelda game, like Majora's Mask, it remains and will ever be, I believe, my all-time favorite. Like I love that game, and you guys nailed it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Such a good Anju. My heart is full.
Oh, and your link is fantastic. Mm-hmm. I'm so glad that you got multiple shoots. Like they.
That's not important. Yes. I might as well go ahead and take the microphone then. Hi, I'm Saris. You can find me all over the internet at TixStixel, where I'm not. That account is not for cosplay, but you can see a lot of the art that I've been doing, a lot of the writing that I've been doing, a lot of the nerding that I've been doing. And I will say that for those who are keeping up with the work that I've been the fun non D&D work that I've been doing, I have another illustration that I've been slowly but surely working on. This one is going to be challenging. It's going to challenge all of the things that I've been learning thus far. And I hope I succeed. With that, we're gonna toss the proverbial skull over to Zan.
Oh, hi, it's me, Xanalis Grim, also known just as Zan. Find me over at twitch.tv/XanalisGrim. Tomorrow we're going to be re-jumping back into a D&D campaign that I started with a few friends. Find that over on my channel at 7:30 p.m. PST. Aside from that, you can also find me over on... Oh, shoot, what am I doing this week? I don't remember. On twitch.tv/Monty Glue's channel, I am going to be, we're still going through Dungeon of the Mad Mage. We're, I think, level 14 now. Getting through it. Got a lot of stuff to do. We just lost our first party member, which is sad. But yeah, I think that's it for me this upcoming week. So I suppose I will pass the Talking Skull to the Talking Skull, Burnout Vaughn.
Yes, hello, hi. You've already found me here, twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Blue Sky, and YouTube at Burnout Vaughn, and on Patreon at Burnout's Bar, where soon, I was going to have content for my Patreon, but then I had to meet Bosco in person, and that was $80. So
I'm so sorry.
Listen, there's other things that are going to be there, so it was a steal, but still, that was pretty much my commission money. So instead, I'm going to be bribing some of the people I have commissions with by getting them signed prints. They were like, you know what, bet. But aside from that, tomorrow we're going to have some more Wizard Sibs plays where we're going to be going through the DLC for Resident Evil 4 as Ada Wong in... I basically just said all the information there, but we're starting out on that. And there might be something fun coming down the line when we get to Resident Evil 5, because we are going to subject ourselves to that. I've already had friends, like the second I told the person who's joining us that we're going to be doing 5, they're like, really? And I was like, yeah, you get to co-pilot on that.
Listen, at least you're not doing 6.
We might, because remember, you had me buy. You were the one who was like, "Hey, dude, every Resident Evil game's up on Humble Bundle for like $70. Why don't you get it?" And I was like, "Fine." So I own it no matter what.
It was like somewhere between 20 and 30. Like it was every game from 1 to the I believe 2 remake. It was a steal.
No, it was all the way up to 3 make, and it also included 0.
Oh, nice. I have all of those. Should play them sometime.
Mm-hmm. That being said, then on Tuesday, because the weeks have flip-floppitied, we will be going to yet another carnival. This one that we're not trying to escape in our Wild Behind the Witchlight game phase of our lives, where things have escalated and de-escalated, then re-escalated, then de-escalated. It is a literal roller coaster. And it doesn't help that half our party are just chaotic people that we need to put on leashes, but none of us are going to use a leash.
Oh boy.
Then on Saturday, we will be returning back to Strixhaven for our Saved by the Spell game, where we had a whole lot of party drama that ended in the best, like, non-angry at anyone way, and apparently was a heartfelt moment where after my character basically stole the land rights to an abandoned factory.
As you do.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a wizard who has the knock spell, you can really just take what you want.
Dude, literally seizing the means of production.
Yes. Unfortunately, though, this place used to be used by what was basically the in-universe equivalent of the Green Goblin. And I was hoping to get some more grenades, because those grenades really helped us in a previous dragon fight. But unfortunately, the staff at our school, despite being terrible at security, at least had the foresight to gut the machine that makes them and confiscate the grenades.
And I correct my statement. Seize the means of destruction.
Oh, trust me, I'm already planning to do stuff, because we might also be soon adding a baby gold dragon as a part of the giant collection of animals our group has. So I'm having to have my character in-game plan out and buy the means to, like, start building a pet area in this thing.
Great.
Remember the
That's
comment that I
hilarious
made?
Said that. Oh,
Sorry.
sorry.
I was saying, do you remember the comment I literally made yesterday which I forgot to shill, and that's fine. Yesterday about needing a soundboard solely so that I could play that exact clip of music. I cannot believe that we are making the same joke, and I need that sound clip right now. Please continue.
I mean, we're also about to start a game where I'm using a Russian accent, so it'll always be relevant. You should invest in it. But with that out of the way, it's time for us to play our lovely theme song by the lovely X Wiley Willie, so that way we can get ready to go. Uh-oh. Come on.
Cleric that like smells blood and runs to help you because he knows you're injured. Like that was wholesome as fuck.
I love it so much. That's such a
Yeah.
unique take.
It's very similar to a character Wiley played for a one-shot. But yes, hi, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome, welcome. So seeing new faces. Welcome everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm making sure that everything is. Yep, we're good there.
All right, I have to launch. Wait, I have to launch Roll20. That would be a good idea.
Citric, please. Citric, please.
My bad.
Yeah, there might be combat this episode. We need every punt who can hit.
I can scratch.
You're fine. I can cheer you on from the sidelines.
But that's Zan's job. He's the bard.
I can help. I can get help option. It's part of the action economy. Help action. Okay, I mean.
You're in. I see you. And as it has been a while, and of course this is the way that we usually run things, I do have a very important question to ask. Who remembers what happened last session?
I do, but I am already carrying a point of inspiration. So if anyone else wants to take the floor.
I also have an inspiration, so...
And you went last time, I believe.
True.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quickly reading the notes.
Okay, good.
That's valid.
Because I'm on my cat is sitting on the notes.
Amazing.
So the previous session, we went and found, or went to Isolde's. I forget how to say the name. But they went to their wagon, and at first, while there wasn't an answer, we ended up somewhat approached by the figure. We learned that there was a market to the north, and we also found some wonderful merchandise as we investigated further on up top. I think, yeah, it was Litwick Market, I think it was called.
Correct.
Let's see. We, after going to the market, getting some more information, and doing some further investigation, we went back down to the carnival tent, where we found some strange music, with a tone that seemed to rip the souls out of people. Razvan was able to fortunately save and cast silence to try and allow he and his fellows to escape. We did, but then we chose to try and investigate what was behind it, or I should say, not we. It was Razvan, as well as Onyx. Razvan found some horrible creatures that pretty much killed him at a sight. Luckily, was able to be extracted from that situation, and a voice rang out towards us from the Hall of Mirrors, kind of beckoning us, if I recall after that. And let's see. That's where we met Tyndall the Barker. Or at least he was introduced as such. And I think that's it. We met Tyndall the Barker, and then we saw that there were people looking at us with frowns. That's according to my notes, anyways.
Does anyone remember why?
I want to say it was because that we were definitely frowning ourselves and bringing down the mood.
That's right.
Which
And also,
we're carrying the limp, almost lifeless body of our bard.
Yes.
yep. And just for the point of clarity, the other reason why you were told to be mindful of what you say, and that other people may not take so kindly, is you
asking
mentioned.
questions about leaving.
Correct. Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm glad you guys remembered that, because that one was.
Yep.
The problem is I was writing notes from Razvan's perspective on my notes, so he was asleep during that part. So. Yeah, that was my bad. That was my bad.
That's fine. I have random things scribbled here. I'm pretty sure there's a drawing of a sword and a stone. We saw that, right?
Yep.
Yes.
I drew it, so we must have seen it.
And also,
Correct.
You just really like swords.
also Zan, I love
I
your
do really like swords.
I love your little epitaphs that you put at the end of every session. Those are sometimes the highlights for these.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and the very last thing we were doing was going to the pie area to like gather our bearings and see and get some sort of like medical attention to our bard.
Correct.
Mhm,
Correct. Zan, do you have a
Yes.
point of inspiration?
I do not.
Would you like one?
Yes, please.
And also, because it was actually a really important piece of information, Sheila, do you have a point of inspiration?
I do not.
Would you like one?
Yes, please.
And with that, gonna lower that so I can see just a little bit better. There we go. Why don't I bring us in with a little bit of music? Can we hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. So, you all left the conversation with Tyndall the Barker, who, as if you remember, was walking towards the tent with the sign that reads, which mind you, the sign itself hanging above this red and gold tarped tent, if you will. The sign itself is made out of like a really sturdy dark wood, and the filigree that reads "The Amazing Soulless Man" has like, you're not sure if it's golden inlaid or if that's just gold leaf, but the carving, the engraving in the wood that reads the title actually is filled with gold. But he moves into the crowd, and you watch as he walks in the direction of the Amazing Soulless Man.
Come, we must get you rest. And he's just going to like one arm shoulder Razvan up and head to the Pyrea as we spoke.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So, what's the Pyrea kind of look like? Because I gotta figure out where I'm gonna rest down Razvan.
For sure. It's very interesting. Um, Very similar to what you see here. It kind of looks like a giant wooden pavilion with a green and white striped tarp that kind of acts as like a covering. You see that underneath the pavilion are a handful of like wooden benches and tables. Um, the best way I could describe it is if like if you've ever been to one of those pop-up pavilions at any sort of like street festival, it has a very similar vibe to that. The difference is that there is a long, and I do mean long, wooden table to one side um that has a bunch of like multicolored different seats. Each one is different, so like they're the colors of the rainbow. There's brown, there's black, there's white, there's gold, there's silver. No two colors are the same, and it seems right now that there is unironically like a wisping red, almost dancing lights that seems to just float around the perimeter of this particular space. As you move closer and closer towards the back, you see that there is a large sort of stone oven, and you see two people currently in the process. It very much gives you like food truck vibes in a way, where you've got two people working very tirelessly at making pies. You do not currently see any finished at this moment in time, but you definitely get that smell, that aroma of of cooking cherry and roasted apple and cinnamon and strawberry for sure.
Well then, Branson will take Razvan over to an empty section of bench and just slowly but surely lay him down, and then just take a seat next to him and just kind of. He's got a very tense shoulder, kind of like steepled hands look, like a lot has happened that he has not foreseen, and now he has nothing to to handle all of it.
How are the rest of you doing?
Humphrey is walking beside Branson, like glancing back at Tyndall. He's very distrustful of them after the past interaction, and trying to look around and see. It's just keeping an eye for people. Like, are they looking at us? Is the momentary attention past? Trying to assess the situation.
Perception check.
Will do. There we go. 18.
18. You do notice that Tyndall the Barker actually goes inside of the tent that he was headed towards. You watch as you are walking towards the Pyrea. First and foremost, to your right, as you pass the Lundy the Strong, you see this, and I do mean giant woman, who you can assume, based on the name, it's probably whoever Lundy the Strong is. She is I'm not even joking you. She is a 7-foot tall, incredibly muscular woman. I mean, she has the sort of physical larger features that make you look at a person and go, they could absolutely crack my skull like a watermelon if they wanted to. Dressed in incredibly vibrant patterns, with like a purple shirt and this white and black vest over top. She wears this pretty plain black skirt, but at the bottom you see purple and gold embellishments like embroideries and beadings. And you watch Humphrey as she takes a full log and rips it in half with her fingers.
So
In
it's
front of this other person who is, you can immediately tell, probably not carnival, like a carny, probably a customer, a client, a person who's there to enjoy. You see this little red tiefling with ram-like horns who clearly, if we were to archetype it, is like the fighter of a party, but is now looking at this giant woman ripping a log in half, and you even clock the bead of sweat that drips down this man's forehead. I see that gif, that image, correct, Vaughn. That exactly. Yes. For those of you in the chat, Vaughn has put in our Discord chat a GIF of Captain America ripping a log in half with his bare hands. Correct. Correct. But they do not seem to pay you any mind specifically as you walk by. You do recognize, Humphrey, one more thing, and that is the half giant that you saw earlier, if you remember, who made eye contact with you. He seems to be helping out actually at the Pyrea, unloading boxes. And he notices all of you as you approach. Doesn't really say anything, but does keep an eye on you.
Humphrey will once again like tip his hat his direction and look at the rest of the group. Are we all okay?
I've been better, truthfully.
I am mostly unscathed.
I'm okay now that we're no longer with that creature with the eyes. I don't want to go back there.
I would want to kill it, but I have no more means.
Between the creature and what was inside of the tent, we can tell that this place is not harmless.
That it isn't. I hope it stays behind bars.
Well, for the next hour or so, I will know if it moves anywhere different from that cage.
What we can say for certain is that we are not going to be allowed to move from this place. So we might as well try to find our place within it, for at least for now, till an opportunity presents itself.
What is it that the Barker
I can
said?
agree with that.
He said if we have questions, though, the one we would wish to speak to is the ringmaster.
I suppose that would be our next place of venture, assuming we don't want to stop for rest.
Humphrey looks at you. I do believe we need some rest.
Yes.
Yes, we can wait till Razvan's better before we move.
Are there any, like, drink servers?
Not specifically, but you'll note, if I can draw your attention to the map, that this tent right here that I'm currently pinging appears to be selling beverages.
All right. Who has coin? I spent everything on this wayfinder.
Let me check.
On my inventory.
Razvan
Can
will
help.
hand over 5 silver.
Alright, this should be enough. I'll be right back. And Branson just kind of pushes up, goes over, and He'll like actually stop and wait. What do you two want? And he points to Onyx and Humphrey.
Milk.
I am fine for the time being. Just know that we will be close by, so if anything happens, just be loud.
All right. And he's going to walk on over to the drink cellar and well, first see if there's a line.
There is not at this current moment in time. You see that much like I described earlier, this particular tent does seem to have like a wooden overhang with a couple of different. It feels very This one feels a little different. Feels a little like what you would expect to see at like a Renaissance fair with like the tarp, like not tarps, sorry, the flags and tapestries hanging over the sides of the wooden top. You see a giant sign that says treats and goodies, and there's something about it that seems very sickeningly sweet about the way that the sign itself is physically the like just it's got. That was rude. That was really rude. I'm sorry if my mic picked up on that. Um Sorry.
Got problems?
Someone just decided to rev their engines on our little 25-mile-an-hour street. It's fine. Apologies. It's kind of got that sort of like very glittery, very like big, sparkly, like treats and goodies. It's just kind of like it's something about it feels really sickening. Like it's a little too much. It almost gives, not to date myself, it almost gives like Lisa Frank energy in like the worst
Ooh.
possible way. Um and the actual signage you see cotton candy, or for those who are familiar, sugar floss. The you see a sign like that says funnel cakes. You see um, corn dogs is a thing that's mentioned. You also see, of course, water. You see ale, and you do see a thing that says mystery drink on it.
Well, I'll walk up. I'll be like, "Hello, I need a water, 3 ales, and I guess a mystery drink."
Water, 3 ales, and a mystery drink. That'll come out to be a silver.
All right. He puts down the 1 silver.
Coming right up. It's uncanny how quickly, when they say coming right up, quite literally, there is another individual who they both, now that you get a look at them, they seem very plain. There's nothing extraordinary about either of these individuals that's worth noting, which seems to really weirdly contrast every other character that you have seen walking in this park. It clearly belongs to this park. This does also include like the 2 people working at the Pyrea. Like the individuals there seemed very clearly like carnival members. You could see by the colorful clothing. But these 2 particular individuals, there's nothing remarkable about them. They're in fact more pale of skin than you would expect, and just plain. But sure enough, the second one comes around and hands you exactly what you ordered on a tray for you to carry.
All right. He'll take the tray and he will head back to the group and just be like, "They don't have milk. I got you the closest thing they had, but all they really had was alcohol, water, and this. And you can describe the mystery drink."
Yeah, the mystery drink. So in a little potion bottle, actually, is this green, sparkly liquid. I'm talking like this is like a bright mint green. The liquid itself is obscure, not translucent, so you can't like look through it, but you see little bits of like blue and purple and green like sparkles inside of it, and it seems to like swirl on its own.
Okay. I cautiously reach for the mystery drink. I sniff it first, and then swirl it around.
You unpop it, pop the cork. It smells delightful, but it's weird. It doesn't smell bad, but like you first smell like a giant whiff of like spearmint, but then it smells sweet. Like sugar sweet.
I take a very cautious sip.
It tastes like lemongrass mint.
Refreshing.
But as you take a sip, there is something I request of you.
Yes.
And that would be a Constitution saving throw.
Right? Come on. Sorry. Having trouble with Roll20.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay, you're giving me time. Building up the suspense.
I got kicked out about 3 times, and then it asked me to verify if I was human every single time.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, technically you're not human right now. You're a tabaxi.
Well, I guess that's why it won't let me in. I think it worked. Let's see.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, good.
That's a 22.
22, yes.
Amazing. And I did my little thingy with the dice. It's not only refreshing.
I got kicked out again.
Oh no!
So, it's reloading. I should be back in, but okay. Continue while it loads.
It's not only refreshing, like it tastes really good. It is really refreshing. You feel hydrated, you feel well. But you also feel yourself invigorated. Sheila, or I should say Onyx,
yes.
For the rest of the session, even if you take an 8-hour rest for the rest of this session, you will get 5 temporary HP and a +2 to all strength saving throws.
Ooh.
That's pretty good.
Yes. And I'm back in.
Amazing.
And while Branson sits down and starts already chugging his way through his first ale, I want to ask a quick above game question.
Yep.
Since it sounds like we're doing a short rest. So I was checking up on what all clerics get back on a short rest, and I forgot that they got something with Tasha's, so I want to know what your ruling is on if it would be allowed.
Okay.
It is the Harness Divine Power, which is an optional class feature.
Let me pull out my Tasha's.
I can actually read it off here. I pulled it up on my tablet.
Sure.
You can expend a use of your channel divinity to fuel your spells. As a bonus action, you can touch your holy symbol, utter a prayer, and regain 1 expended spell slot, the level of which can be no higher than half your proficiency bonus rounded up. The number of times you can use this feature is based on the level you've reached in the class. As we're 3rd level now, I can only use this once per day, or at least once per long rest. And I could only get back a 1st level spell slot.
So is I'm trying to pull it up. So is this a
Optional rule.
Yeah. It's one of those, along with like cantrip versatility and bless strike.
I'm gonna be nice, and I want you to know that I'm being nice.
Oh, I
and
know.
letting you use it.
I thank you. So I will get back one spell slot. You'll just hear like a dark muttering between swigs as I will give myself a spell slot. Unfortunately, I can't get back a second level because then it could possibly be go time with that thing.
Round 2, you mean?
Actually, no, I can't do that because I can't change spells during a short rest.
Nope.
The one time I don't prepare blindness, deafness.
Even then, I don't think it's a good idea to go back and pick up that fight.
Listen, Branson is a very, very stupid person.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I assume we're taking a short rest now, so does anyone want to roll hit dice?
Absolutely.
Yep.
No, Razvan does not want his HP back. He would rather suffer in silence.
It builds character.
And I'm back to full.
Back to full
Roll.
myself? Yep.
Oh, come on. Roll.
Leave. Yay. And as you are all sitting there, I would love to point out, really briefly, no perception rolls needed. Pies are being cooked, and they are being stacked, and they are slowly but surely being moved over towards that long table that I mentioned before in heaping stacks.
This is going to be the second week in a row I'm at a carnival and I have to do an eating contest.
You don't have to. It's up to you.
I'm sorry, it's just the parallels that keep happening between this and phase of our lives.
You know I can't
Well-
say anything. But that does
What?
happen as you all are sitting there. While you are taking a short rest, do any of you wish to either do something as in, like, for example, people watch, or I know sometimes certain class or background features will allow something to happen on a short rest, or is there anything that you want to discuss?
Yeah, Humphrey actually would like to look at the group and say, I do believe we need to establish a plan of action. We have been charging through blindly through this place, and we have quickly discovered that it holds some hostility towards people wanting to leave, which, if it is my understanding, we are all wanting to do.
I am not averse to exploring this place to find out more of, what would entice me to stay. But to be honest, with everything that has happened to me in such a short time, it's difficult to say I even want to explore. I just want to try and remain safe.
I like
My
being
ne-
safe.
The pamphlet we got has a map of this place, right? Basically the map we're top-downing right now.
Correct. Correct.
Yes.
Correct. It's identical to what we're currently top-downing on.
Okay, well then, if we are looking for safe events to make it look like we are having fun and not biding our time, we should probably check out the events that seem to have the least menace.
Apples. Apples aren't menacing, are
Nope.
they?
Nope, I actually misread that last time. It is appies, and from what I heard through the bullfrog races, they were not good.
Ah.
If I may, trying to get out of here would need us to recognize what is what is needed to be accomplished in order to leave, if there is any condition to be met. Based on our previous exploring, our previous encounter with this mist trouble, we were taken to a house and we were only allowed to go back to our respective homes once we have dealt with the issue presented to us. On, Based only on that previous interaction, it would lead me to at least try to find what is the thing we need to complete or achieve in order to unlock a way out. I can be completely wrong, but at least that's the first, I mean, the only hint I have to go after, like previous experience.
From what I heard from the person who I procured the Wayfinder from, it is more up to, and he gestures off into the distance, the mist themselves. They somewhat have a life of their own. It might not...
Yeah, carnivals are like parties, and all parties must end at some point, no?
Tyndall did mention that the carnival will be open and it will close at some point and people will leave. However, I am not willing to run that time out. Something about what they said about this entire place don't lead me to trust them.
I'm gonna interject
Hmm?
really quick. All of you, really quickly, because it's been a
Mhm.
couple weeks. Roll me a history check.
Oh,
Will do.
boy.
That's a good one. Hey, 17 for me.
Aw, 5 for me.
22 for Branson. That's a high one.
And 12
12.
for Razvan. Actually, this, and I have to point out that this does make sense to me, based on how last session went. Razvan, Branson, and Citric. Razvan, it's kind of incredible because you were definitely like roaming in and out of consciousness when this conversation was happening, but somehow the three of you remember another detail that was mentioned. That there is someone else in the carnival besides just the ringmaster who may know of a secret in terms of getting out.
Was that
Right.
Isolde?
No.
Oh.
It was the old woman at the Hall of Mirrors.
Well
Baba
then.
Grimhild.
Ah. He'll look to Onyx. You remember that woman you talked to?
Yes.
I think I am remembering Tyndall mentioned that she might have answers for us. And I would trust them over whatever a ringmaster is.
She seemed
I
to
didn't find
show
her very pleasant, but I don't mind returning if it means answers.
she at least showed interest, so we have that in our favor.
Alright, then I say we head toward the Hall of Mirrors. It's also one of the places that sounds like it would be the least dangerous.
Yep, I am as rested as I can be, but given all things considered. I am ready to travel whenever you are.
Since
Ready.
we have the opportunity, though, if things come to combat once again, do we want to distribute ourselves in any particular way? I will be upfront and say, given my current circumstance, dealing with my current body, I don't think I will be much of a help in a fight.
I am by nature skilled for combat, and if it is an undead, I will be able to strike it down even more efficiently. So I will be first to
Oh,
the
good.
fray.
I somehow doubt that we will encounter such a terrible fate at the Hall of Mirrors, but just in case, just keep behind me, okay?
Humphrey nods.
So does Onyx.
So it sounds
I
like
can fight if I must, but I'm also fast and know when to flee.
all right. So it sounds like we head to the Hall of Mirrors.
You come across this tent that you had seen before, and it is rather large. You see that the tent seems to be. It's honestly more like a hut than it is a tent, as it has that front sort of very similar to the way that it is structured on the map. It has that front sort of entryway, a window out the top, and it seems to the main part that it sort of connects to seems to be unironically 2.5, maybe even 3 stories high. It's very large, or at least it looks very large. And as previously mentioned, outside of this hall, you see sitting on a little rocking chair this old woman hunched over with her little poncho. If you remember Onyx, she is still knitting a pair of socks this time. Interesting. She was working on something else only a couple of hours ago when you first entered the carnival. She's moved on to a pair of socks. That's weird. It's new. It's different, but it's definitely not what she was working on before. And as the four of you move forward, you hear her go, I love the little orange one. The little kitty trying to steal my socks again? They're my socks, you know.
Jordan again, madam.
Onyx narrows her eyes at her and the socks.
You brought friends this time. Why, that is a scrapping young man you have there. 2 of them even. Although something's a little odd with the one with the hat, the big poofy hat. Anyway, you look like you've seen a thing or two, young man. Very taken by you. I'm interested to hear your story. And you fancy man, fancy pants. What brings you all here to this Hall of Mirrors?
We would like,
Care
if
to step
possible.
in?
Yeah, we'll step in.
Oh? You're just gonna walk by her and you're just gonna step inside?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought she was inside. That's my bad.
No, she said care to step in.
And
I see.
Yeah. I love the 0 to oh no.
Like forget we both. No, actually, we would like to know if we could have a word with you.
I have many words, yes.
And we are interested in a few of those. Humphrey looks around. We have been informed by one Tyndall the Barker that you may know of a way out of the carnival.
You watch as this woman going from, just this kind of sweet old lady demeanor, ends up wearing what I can only describe as the most sinister, the most devious of grins, as she lowers her voice and goes, "You want to get out?"
Humphrey looks at the group.
We want to know if it's even possible.
Anything is possible if you work hard enough and know what you're doing.
Me and my fellows, we were brought here without any form of consent in our arrival. And
You
it would
brought
be
a ticket. What do you mean, no consent? You brought a ticket. Only those who have a ticket can come inside.
fair enough. Then no consent that we would not be allowed to leave.
Well, you can leave. No one said you couldn't.
Oh, I see.
You just have to know how.
Yes, I think the key is how to do it safely.
He's funny. I like him.
Does that mean you would help us on this?
I mean, I can. It's not impossible. It's not improbable.
We would appreciate it a lot if you did.
That depends. If you're willing to take the risk. You said yourself you're looking for a safe way out. The truth of the matter is, there's no guarantee of safety anywhere. I'm sure you've picked that up by now.
The hard way, yes.
I think
I keep looking at your cat, and your cat keeps staring at my socks. Can you tell your cat to stop staring at my socks?
Miss Onyx, are you staring at her socks?
I like yarn. Looks away.
I'm just imagining their eyes are doing the same thing that the emote in chat is doing.
Just dilating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I stare at it intently for one more second before turning away with a hiss.
I was just waiting. I was going to be like, if there's going to be an issue, I was going to put you in Sky Jail.
Isn't that just uppies?
I mean, yes.
Sky jail for being too silly.
Where the beans have no power. But yes, I believe my friends are willing to take this risk, and my quarry is not here as well.
Your quarry? You are about as see-through as it gets, doesn't it?
I have no use for lies.
I really like this one. This one's great. You're gonna be fun. Well, here is what I will put in front of you. Full transparency. Since you are so invested, there are 3 ways out. 1, you leave when the carnival ends. Straightforward, is it not? Unless, of course, you fail to get out by the correct time and become one with the carnival and stay forever in the mists. But, of course, on that note, you can always go through the mists. If you know how, and if you know where you're trying to get to. But, of course, I myself am a woman of tricks. I understand that you may think that I'm just some random old lady, but I also think you're smart. You're smart, you know. You know, I'm here to have fun. We all are here to have fun. It's why we're here. It's what we do. And your third option is you trust in me. And I'll get you. Well, I can't promise you it'll be exactly where you want to go, but it won't be here.
Humphrey looks at the group.
Onyx shakes her head at the third point, indicating not to trust the woman.
I do
But
not
indicating
believe.
that she doesn't trust her.
I do not believe I got your name.
I don't believe I got yours either.
Ah, I am Razvan Fleur. Apologies for the impolite introductions.
I love that. I love that. That's such a cute name. Did your mother give you that?
Yes, indeed.
Excellent. If you ever see her again. She kind of nods and gives like a thumbs up.
He's just gonna kind of stare blankly and blink a few times to himself.
They call me Baba Grunhild. The reality is that there are many nicknames of which I also go by. I believe Granny Grimhild, Baba Grimhild, Grimmy, Hild, although I don't like that one. That one's weird. But yes, Baba Grimhild.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Likewise.
I will just look to Humphrey and be like, The only two options I find that will work would be either relying on Baba here, or attempting to make it through the mists and using the Wayfinder we found, but we do not know how to fully grasp its power yet.
Then why don't we simply allow ourselves to explore the merriment of the carnival until we find a way to either learn of the Wayfinder's abilities and functions, or maybe meet someone along the way that can.
It's fine, but I do not like the possibility that if we do not escape before the proper time, we will be permanently bound to this place.
If we
Yes.
are kind of using air quotes, permanently bound to this place, can we still attempt to leave through the mists? Asking Baba.
Did I not tell you that anything is possible?
Oh, there you go.
I did say anything is possible, and you said attempt. But that does not mean or guarantee success. You can try. But if you are bound to the carnival, well, no attempts will be made in secret.
And if we were to trust you, what would you ask of us?
You get to find that out if you take the plunge. I promise it will not be big. It will not be huge. But there will be something asked of you. Before you ask, because I am a very, very transparent woman. It is not something that you hear from horror stories. It is not like I will ask of a hair on your head, although you don't have any, so I don't know how I would ask for that in the first place. I won't be asking to cash in a favor either. Those are ambiguous, and I don't like it when the contracts are vague and ambiguous. I'd much rather terms and conditions be transparent, as it were.
And what would your conditions be?
If you want to find out, you have to take the plunge, don't you?
What is taking the plunge?
Stepping inside. And we begin. But only if that is what you want to do. For once those doors close behind you, they will not open up again. You must commit to whatever plan it is that you decide to commit to. Once you make a deal, or once you make an agreement with Baba Grimhild, you cannot go back. And you must be satisfied with the consequences of your actions.
And here we thought this place was going to be the safest option for us.
I never said anything about safety, did I?
Well, not you. I meant our group.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Meanwhile, Branson's just going to curse an infernal.
The worst part is, this might be.
Sir, I am a grandmother. Watch your tongue.
What?
I think she was talking.
Branson swore an infernal.
Yeah.
Oh.
He'll just look. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot my manners. And he will
Clearly.
bow his head slightly.
Curses in Celestial instead.
I mean, you say that, but I could. When you take the Haunted One background, you get a lot of random ass languages to choose from.
Cursing Undercommon. No one uses Undercommon.
My Strixhaven character shouts at you in Undercommon.
Get out of my plane!
I mean, if he actually made it here, that'd be after that game wraps. So yeah, we don't need high level
I'm
Daedalus.
joking. I'm
I know.
teasing. I'm
I
teasing.
know. I just wanted to make the joke too. But yes, all right. He'll look to the group and just be like, "I am fine with this arrangement, but it is up to you. I'm also the only person who wanted to go through the mist of their own volition."
I have
We are in a situation where we have to try and trust in each other more than our surroundings. Nothing that we investigate or find is going to give us a understandable reason of risk, so we cannot weigh our options in terms of risk. Simply what we feel, our gut feelings are telling us.
it is a gamble one way or another. Sit and wait just doesn't feel right to me. And
Yes, I don't think we have much of a choice.
out of the three options, trying to just exit when the carnival wraps up sounds to me like the most dangerous one. The easiest one to trap us here.
Very well. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And Razvan will step into the mirrors.
Okay.
Humphrey nods and waddles along.
Onyx trails behind Humphrey.
Yeah, I was about to say, Branson will go in last and before he leaves. By the way, my name is Branson. It was a pleasure to meet you.
It was a pleasure to meet you as well.
And then he
Here's
steps.
what's interesting.
Oh, go ahead.
Here's what's interesting. Razvan, you approach the flap of the tent. Push it to the side and you find that the door is open. You step inside and it slams behind you. Humphrey, you see right behind Razvan that door slams shut. Razvan, when this thing is described as a hall of mirrors, you start out in this entryway, a single mirror in front of you. And to your left and to your right is nothing but that same tarping that covers the rest of the tent. And for a moment you doubt yourself, how is this a hall of mirrors, until in front of you, in the reflection of the mirror, a piece of parchment, torn and ragged, with barnacles on it. The words in, let me double check. What languages do you know?
Let me double check. Common, Elvish, and Draconic.
In Draconic, you see the words that read, pass through.
Razvan will try to take a footstep into the mirror that has that message.
The mirror itself ripples as your foot connects with it and passes through. And as your whole body passes through, you enter into a maze of mirrors. But instead of seeing your own reflection, in these mirrors, with the way that they are warped, you would expect to see, yourself, but looking a little oblong or weirdly shaped. No. Instead, what you see is a flickering reflection. First, you see yourself from months ago, standing on a dock with rolling thunder, the clouds parting with a flash of light. For a moment, you swear you can hear it crackling. But you shake your head, you swear it's an illusion, and you continue to walk. Do you go to the left? Do you go to the right? Or do you go center?
Razvan will always take the left-hand path.
As you go to the left, you see once again your own reflection, but this time your eyes a more deeper soulless red. Your fangs slightly longer than they truly are. Your skin more decrepit than it was before. And once again, you blink and shake your head. And you continue to walk and move forward. And for a moment, you hear, actually in your ear, sorry, give me a second. What does the painter make when the ink dries up within its own well? What then becomes the canvas? And I'm going to stop you right there.
Okay.
Humphrey.
Yeah, as soon as the door slams on Humphrey's face, he starts just like hitting his like trying to hit it with his like jelly hands with not much effect.
And
Like,
after a
Razvan,
minute,
Razvan!
after a moment, you hit it and it swings open.
Humphrey looks inside. Razvan!
He is not there.
He looks at the group. At the two remaining ones. I guess it's one at a time.
Onyx nods.
He looks at Wagon. She's outside, right? Can we see her
She's
from when
knitting
we
her
are?
little socks. She's knitting her little socks with a big old grin on her face.
Is this how this is intended to work?
Yes. Yes, it is. You go in one at a time.
Wonderful. Humphrey straightens himself and walks inside.
You walk inside. And
See
again,
you on the other side, gentlemen.
as you walk inside, the door slams shut behind you. You are faced with the hallway with the tarp-like sides and ceiling and a single mirror in front of you.
Humphrey approaches.
And as you approach, take a look at the mirror. You see what's in front of you. You see a piece of parchment in Elvish that reads, "Pass through."
Humphrey tries to take a deep breath, realizes that he has no nose, like, and walks through.
It's really bizarre a feeling as you walk through because you yourself also ripple. So if you imagine for a moment, the mirror is rippling, but also so are you as you pass through it. But you do, and you pass through, and again, you find yourself in a maze of mirrors. But the distortions that you expect to see, the weird warped shapes, are not what are there. Instead, you watch as your own reflection flickers. It looks what I could only describe as a sort of almost static, where it can't decide what to present. For a moment, you swear you see your face, and then another moment it's gone. You see the physical shape of your body stretch into a humanoid size and then shrink back down. Do you go left, right, or center?
Humphrey takes the middle path.
As you
Puzzled
continue,
as to what the mirrors are showing.
sure. As you continue to move forward, there is a moment where you see the entirety of yourself, as you know you are. And then for a moment, you are back to yourself. But it keeps flickering back and forth, almost like a light switch, on, off, on, off, on, off. It can't decide which reflection is yours. It can't decide which one to show you. And after a moment, as you stare at your own reflection, you hear these words in your ear. Where does the soul go when it sheds its material shell? What then becomes its husk? And that's where I'm going to pause you. Onyx,
Yes.
you watch as Humphrey walks in, the door slams behind him, and after a few moments you hear like a clinking sound as if something is unlocked.
Okay. I turn once to glance at the old woman, then I look at Branson, giving him a nod before proceeding through the door. I give it a push.
You give it a push and it swings open.
I move forward.
You move forward. The door slams behind you. And as you approach the mirror, as I have previously described, after a few moments, a piece of parchment, weathered, folded and refolded and unfolded and torn and mangled, you see in symbols that you understand to be a written form of thieves' cant. It says pass through.
I take another cautious step and I pass through.
It's odd. It's a very weird sensation. It feels like you're passing through water, which you don't like. You don't like at all. But you're not wet. Your fur isn't wet. And yet, as you step through this rippling mirror, you swear for a moment that you should have been drenched. But you aren't. And as you pass in...
That was unpleasant, so I just shiver.
Mm-hmm. And as you come out on the other side, you see this maze full of mirrors. And for reference, there is not a single surface that is not a mirror. Yes, this includes the floor. You look down at your feet, and you see your own toe beans. But as you look at your own reflection, you see a version of you that you don't recognize. You see bits of fur mangled, or bits of fur, mangled, like it's been torn off. You see scars where you don't have any. You see a black cloak not belonging to you, one you don't recognize. You see tips of your ear, looks like it's almost been bitten off. Do you choose to go left, right, or forward?
I take the right path.
You take the right path.
Yes.
And as you continue to move forward, for a moment, you don't even see yourself. You see your friend. You see the reflection of your friend, the one you betrayed, staring back at you with tears streaming down their cheeks.
I turn away from that
For our
reflection.
audience, for sure. And for our audience, would you describe what your friend looks like?
Yes. So my friend took many forms because they were changeling, but they typically looked humanoid, short, like a small urchin with a cloak above their head. Typically wearing a cloak that covered part of their head and a tunic. They kind of looked shabbily dressed. And they had, oh, I'm sorry, just another motorcycle intro. Okay. Okay, and they have one missing tooth from the top row.
And you see that, and you see them. And there's nothing about your reflection that flickers. There is no distortion that you see, and yet you look at your own hands. Their paws. With claws, you bring your claws out, you sheathe them, you bring your claws out, you sheathe them. Sure enough, that's you. But as you look back in the mirror, that is the reflection of your friend in the way that you remember them. And after a moment, you hear in your own ear, what falsehoods does a longing mind seek in solace from a truth left unspoken? What brutal repose must be found becoming of the truth? And that's where I'm going to pause you. Branson!
Yes.
Last but not least. Do you do anything before the door opens?
The only thing he does is he reaches down, he unhooks his axe, and he holds it basically in a way that he knows how to hold it for if you're in a space where you don't know how much room you have to swing.
For sure. And you push open the door.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, you see that exact same visage that the friends that went before you saw. But for you, you do see a piece of parchment. In fact, it's not parchment. It's bark. Tree bark. That has been carved or burnt. Both, maybe. With the phrase "an infernal" pass through, etched along it, and it is held up in the reflection of the mirror.
Well, he will reach up, put his hand to it, and see if it goes through, and if it does, he'll step through.
Sure enough, your hand goes through the mirror, it ripples, and again, it feels quite wet, even though you pull your hand back out, and it's definitely not wet, but you can go through.
Like I said in chat, enemy texture detected. But yeah, he will step through and see what he finds.
Your reflection seems normal at first. But the longer as you continue to walk down, the longer you stare, the moment that you realize that there's a trail of blood behind you. And you pause, and I assume you turn to look.
Yeah, you'll check.
There is no blood behind you, only in the reflection. And after a second glance, you realize that the blood in your reflection is dripping off of the blood on your hands in the reflection.
He'll just humph. He's not a bright man, but he can understand this metaphor. But he's also where he is because he figured that's what's going to happen, and he has stopped giving a fuck long ago.
Do you go left, right, or center?
He'll try to go through the center.
Okay. You pass through the center, and your reflection now looks ragged. You notice, weirdly enough, on your person what seems to be mementos. You see Razvan's rapier at your side, Humphrey's hat with a hole in it in your hand, and you see Onyx's little cape wrapped around your neck like it's a scarf, but it is burnt to a crisp.
Do I also see my scarf on my arm?
You see your scarf on your arm, but it looks worse for wear. Untended to, burnt, with bloodstains.
He'll reach up and touch the scarf on his arm to make sure that it's fine.
You look at it. You look at the real one, and it has not changed since you entered this carnival.
He'll grip it a little bit tighter, and then he'll just take a deep breath, and he will keep moving forward.
And as you do, you hear the words. Where does the night go when kinship is lost to the shadows of cruelty? Who provides shelter from the screaming storm? And as the four of you, in your separate paths and separate ventures, converge within a round, open space, once again full of mirrors and a myriad, I believe I wrote down, 10 different pathways branching off, and in the center, a single pedestal sits. That is where we're going to take a break.
Okay.
I just love that I'm the one who has the gothic tragedy ending.
It only took us three sessions to split the party. We're doing great.
Though, to be fair, we were all going to the same place. There was just a line.
Fair enough.
But we also
Don't forget.
Oh,
I was gonna say, just don't for those of you playing the home game, don't forget to drink your legs and stretch your water.
yep,
Yeah,
Bubba
very important.
Bubba literally posted as you were saying it.
Amazing. I'm gonna step away for 2 seconds.
Go
Give
right
me
ahead.
just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, we knew what we were getting into. We signed up for a Domain of Dread campaign. I imagine there's going to be very little splitting the party. Also, I'm glad that everyone's enjoying the subs I gave out. So hey, have fun with the emotes.
Yeah.
Citric drew half of them.
That I did. Also, yeah, for the people watching, apologies, I have not yet finished the party shot, so people get a good idea of what our characters look like. But for those jumping...
You're building
Mhm.
anticipation.
Exactly.
No, I am just failing to deliver.
You are doing this out of the kindness of your own heart, so do it at your own pace, no judgment.
I mean, I judge myself enough. You cannot tell me not to judge that.
I hate that I can't.
I strongly relate. That's what I'll say.
So I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll probably take my break last, just to make it easier for everyone. But yeah, no. At this point, I will take the Domain of Dread. That's the Windies, because at least we're shaping that every other Saturday. For those who don't know, our Fate Extra CCC playthrough is definitely a time and a half. I just love that the reason we have a servant to help us get through this moon war is because literally he sees us as the biggest dumpster fire and he wants to see how we burn. We actually talked about that before you got here, Robot. We talked about Waffle Houses, Waffle houses that are on top. They're the second story of a Walmart. Oh, hey, I like to boo ya. Well, things just got interesting. You came in at the right time. But yes, like we said earlier, the Domain of Dread that's a Denny's parking lot is just Miss Tweetums. She is the Dread Lord for there. Who, I guess I can say this now because a lot of people who will be watching this in the future, as well as people who will watch it when we do it live, for those who don't know, coming in August, we decided we're going to be doing the third series of Pack Tactics, our all Warlock miniseries. So if you want to see Citric, me, Theropod, Punkyard Dog, and Miss Tweetums go through a bunch of crazy adventures, then oh boy, look forward to our August. Which, yeah, eventually we're going to have to talk to CG and find out if we're going to get the next 2 levels, we need to have more pact boons. I mean, not pact boons, invocations. Because if so, then I get all of the ones that will, like, expand my, my Mystic Arcanum options. Because despite them being like, oh yeah, you get a lot of cool Mystic Arcanums as a Warlock to make up for your spells, it's still not that big a list. I see, Robot, you had a hint. But that's fine. There's no NDAs. Like, honestly, I could have mentioned it sometime earlier this week. I just never thought of it. We're still, since it's not until August, like, we have no solid plans on anything we're doing. We just, the only thing we know is that we're not adding anyone else to the party and pushing the limits of the CR rate. Plus, it makes that easier for CG and Citric because they don't have to draw another character either. Though I will say, if you have been enjoying all of the homebrew pack boons that we use in Pack Tactics, you can see more of them. One is used in Districtly Professional, the other game that Saris DM'd for me, Citric, Zako, and Manda, which is Pact of the Spirit. And I'm also using one for our Wild Beyond the Witchlight game, the Pact of the Pipe, which I can't wait till we level up, because I'm playing this this Pact boon with... I'm playing this without the actual full use of my Pact boon so far, because we started at level 2. But yeah, no, it's been a fun time. I've been so ready to get back into this game because I just get to be the muscle. I never get to be the muscle, which is also hilarious because I'm a cleric and I had to literally take a feat to actually be good at strength. Also, no problem, Survivor. I saw we had a bunch of non-regulars and new folks in the chat, so I figured, hey, why not share the love? Also, man,
Speaking of homebrew,
uh-huh.
I'm gonna, if you don't mind, plug one of my buddies that decided to pop into the chat today.
Go right ahead.
So Subpar Citrus, yeah, you, has been in the works behind the scenes, been helping out with making some homebrew, and we've been having a few chats. If you have not checked out his, I believe, Citrus, you're gonna have to help me. Do you just do the YouTubes, or do you do other things as well? Because
yeah, if it's
he
available
also,
I was about to say, because if it's available on DM's Guild, that'd be great.
I don't know. That's a him question, and I see you in the chat. Yeah. So I know that he and I have been in some talks about some things that he has been homebrewing in the background. And he also does a lot of, been doing maps. But I know that you have homebrew plans, my homie. And he has also got some really, really fun, he's also got some really, really fun YouTube videos out. I know for any of you who might be interested in, the new, I think it's called Daggerheart, the new thing that Critical Role put out. He has been working in the background on some reels that help folks who maybe want to check it out in building character sheets and stuff. So we support our homebrew homies in the chat. And also thanks for just stopping by. I wasn't expecting you to wanna stop by and check out our stream. Really, really appreciate you, dude.
Sounds like I'm gonna have to add them to the links of channels affiliated with this now, because that's what I do on my YouTube. Is that, do I do anything with you? Do you have a YouTube? Yeah, I'm gonna put a link there, so that way if anyone finds you through me, that you can just go find them and follow and subscribe.
We do in fact help out the homies in this joint.
Yes, but now that you're back, Saris, I'm going to trust you with the stream again, just like last time, so I can use the bathroom.
All right, chat. All right, chat. So we established that the avatar is now a robo-dino. Now we have to figure out what the new overlay is going to be. So, chat, I'm thinking if we're going with polka dot robo-dinos, we should have a bones theme. What are y'all thinking?
So are we turning the stream into the bone zone?
Yeah, it's the bone zone.
Yeah, fair enough. It was eventually going to turn into that.
Yeah. I
Like,
see you.
Let's be real.
I see you. I see exactly what you're putting down.
Yeah. So since we're on break,
Yep.
mind if I ask to repeat each one of us got like a two sentence bit at the end. Mine was where does the soul go when it sheds its mortal husk? What becomes of? And I didn't I was
What? Where does the soul go? Soul go when it sheds its material shell.
First
What becomes of the husk?
Ah, perfect. I got that mixed up. Thank you.
You're good.
I was about to say, if anything, Saris, do you have those like pre-written down?
I do.
Then just I'd say at the end of the session we can just put that all in. Like,
that was what I was going to do. I was going to write it all out for you guys and drop it in the Discord.
Okay. Yeah, like I was scared because I forgot that I didn't name it as the same thing as I name it in all the other servers I make for games. So I was going like, why do we have no party notes? And I looked at notes and handouts. Oh. It also doesn't help that in a different one of our servers that we play in, our DM only just now decided to add in, okay, hey guys, we've been doing this for almost 2 years, so here's the spots for you guys to organize what you think is important, like friends and enemies, world events, fill out these tabs to your heart's content. I was just like, that'll have to be from everybody else, because I can never take notes in any of my games because I'm also streaming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what can my brain remember while drinking?
I mean, no one is forcing you to drink.
I don't want to get too meta into this, but I want you to note that I had this oh gosh, what is the term? I
think I
my medievalist bestie is gonna come for my shoes.
No, I think I know.
Remember the term.
A limerick?
Yeah. It's not a limerick, actually.
True, it didn't rhyme.
No, it's a very specific type of structure used in Old Anglo-Saxon literature. But what I was getting at is I've been actually sitting on this since we decided to do this game.
Ooh.
And you all sent me your character ideas. So I've been waiting. But no, so I was really excited because this was a chance for me to pull in some of my nerd knowledge.
Yeah.
And again, my friend is going to, if she finds out that we did this and I forgot the name of the thing, she's going to come for my shins.
They are forfeit.
Give me 1 second here. I'm also copying that link so I can have that for later. And I'll just put that in hall text and pin it. Because we stand the homies here.
If you, I will say this, if you are sitting there going, hey, that structure felt really familiar and I can't figure out why, you probably heard it in I believe, the Two Towers.
Oh.
Where is the horse and the rider? That segment that happens, that is Tolkien based off of. Yeah, I'm just gonna nerd out here for a minute. That specific segment of soliloquy is based on again the same particular structure, which is most recognized in the Anglo-Saxon poem The Wanderer. Where is the horse gone? Where the rider? Where the giver of treasure? Where are the seats at the feast and the revels in the hall? Alas for the bright cup, alas for the mailed warrior, alas for the splendor of the prince. How that time has passed away, dark under the cover of night, as if it had never been.
Nice, but now I feel bad because you also made me remember that I used to know something else that's very esoteric, and now I can't remember it. Because I used to know the entirety of the whole, I forget what it is, if it's a sonnet or a poem, but the story of the Crooked Man. I used to be able to do that by heart.
Oh, yes. And really quickly, because I just saw her message, Sheila is back. Zan, are you back?
I'm here.
Okay.
Then we good to start.
We are good to start. So, apologies for cutting you off really quick, Vaughn, because like I said, I just saw her message.
Oh no, you're totally fine.
We will discuss esoteric things after stream. So, you are in this big, expansive space, and the four of you all see each other. Once again, there is a giant pedestal, like stand, in the center. And as the four of you I should actually ask, do the four of you also look at your reflections collectively, or do you choose to avert your gaze?
Humphrey would look.
Branson would be. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know, it's just difficult to avert our gaze when everywhere is mirrors, so he will also, Razvan will also look.
Onyx as well.
I was going to say, the pedestal in the center is the only thing that's not a mirror, so technically you could avert your gaze.
Fair enough.
However,
I'd say Branson would still probably check his surroundings, and thus there's plenty of mirrors. He would see reflections.
So, starting in order. What we see from Razvan is not the same two reflections that you saw previously. Sorry, setting my plate down. You see a incredibly what used to be Razvan, who is very put together, who is very, there's a flourish there, very bard-like, very I don't want to just rely on the word fancy, but opulent doesn't feel right. Ornate, perhaps?
Well kept.
Yeah, that is completely gone. You look disheveled. You look worse for wear. You look like you haven't eaten in a long time. You look like your eyes are red and puffy, like you have been weeping, but there are no tears left to weep. Your knees, at the pants, your knees are covered in mud, your boots as well, and your cloak torn and ragged to the point where you can't even determine whether or not it's a cloak. your face and your skin at this point look more human than they did previously. And if you open your mouth, the fangs are not fangs anymore. Humphrey.
Mhm.
You see yourself. It does not flicker this time. It is your true form. And for those of you who are not Humphrey, it is the man that you saw in your dream.
The only one of the three that hasn't seen Humphrey's form was Razvan, because Onyx and Branson went there with Humphrey when they like flew into the astral plane.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So would you like to, just for one more time, describe, just, like, not in full detail, but describe what exactly you at least what you imagine you look like in this case?
Yeah. No, Humphrey is a young man, like around 18 years old, uh, black short hair, slick back, tan skin. He stands about 5'8", I thought he was. I will need to check. Here. He's dressed like very elegant. He's wearing his full butler uniform. The only two things remaining like that still fit him are like on his current jelly form are the cape and hat. But yeah, like very well kept, very a, a very formal presence to him. Really unlike the tiny gummy bear beside you guys.
Onyx, you see a disheveled version of yourself as well. However, what's interesting is that it looks as though, for the moment, at the very least, some type of I guess the best thing I could describe is like rags or like bandages have been wrapped around your head so that your ears are pinned down, as if trying to avoid being able to hear anything.
Is it similar to the image I saw earlier?
Yes, but different.
Okay.
Instead of it looking ragged and injured, you instead look emotionally distressed. Like you haven't been taking care of yourself as you should be. Branson,
Mm-hmm.
instead of it being blood on your hands, it is blood on your clothes. It is blood on your axe. It is blood on your lantern.
Branson's just completely non-expressive, then just turns and looks at the pedestal and sees what's on it.
A cauldron.
Hmm. He will.
It is not brewing.
Okay. He will approach and be like, "I think this is what we were here to find."
Is everyone all right? We split for a moment, but at least I did not encounter anything dangerous.
I'm fine.
Nothing jumped out of those mirrors. I'm fine.
I visages of myself that I do not want to see. But physically I am unharmed.
Humphrey
Oh, I
nods.
do have to regret to inform you about that whole jumping out of a mirror thing.
Oh shit.
And as that is said, you see a gorgeous 5'10", slender, elven-looking woman with hair honey gold like the sun, cloaked in green and cream, embroidered and beaded garments, with a little braided wire tiara on the head, with eyes as piercing and vibrant as the blue sky midday. She stands there with her hands folded, behind you, all four of you, smiling.
And you are?
The person who's going to send you on your way, if an agreement can be reached.
Then what would you want?
Your word.
Our reward on what exactly?
Why are you here? Not in the physical sense. Not in the, well, I'm at the carnival. No, why are you here? Why do you journey? Why do you travel? Why are you here?
Revenge.
Curiosity.
Humphrey looks at Onyx.
Onyx shakes her head and says, I'm just trying to find a way back.
Why?
I don't feel safe here.
Roll me your choice of persuasion or deception.
I'm gonna go with persuasion. And that is a 15.
There is a very knowing look in her eyes. You don't feel safe? Here
Onyx shakes her
or
head.
at home?
Here. In this strange carnival.
But that's not why you left home, is it not?
It's not.
Then why
I was
are you
seeking
here?
my
Sorry.
fortune.
Your fortune?
Yes.
Fascinating.
If there is one to be found.
Let's see here. Revenge, curiosity, fortune, and that leaves...
Same as our friend here, I do want to return home.
Why?
Because I have a debt to pay.
A debt. I'm satisfied with these answers. They ring true. And I ask, in this moment, in your transparency, that you swear that you will not lose your way, that you will not deter or detract or detour from your goal, no matter what is put in front of you. You said you were willing to do what you needed to do to leave. And if you are to leave to fulfill your goal, you must not stray. Is that a promise that you are willing to keep?
It has been the only thing that has kept me alive for the last 5 years.
Yes, it's a promise I intend to keep.
I have every reason to get back home, so yes, I will not stray away from that goal.
Despite the difficulties of where my curiosity has brought me as of recent, I believe I will remain curious until the moment I die, for better or for worse.
She snaps her fingers. You watch as Branson, you standing immediately right next to it, the cauldron begins to bubble and boil as a flame bursts underneath it. The flame itself blue, seemingly self-contained. She walks over with very precise footsteps and drops something from her sleeve within the cauldron. Cauldron continues to bubble. She looks to the four of you. You doubted my transparency. You doubted my honesty. Do you doubt me now? I would like you all to make an insight check.
Will do.
$11.
Just a sec. 12.
9.
We are doing great.
The worst part is 2 of us have like obscene like modifiers in that, and we just rolled shit.
Yeah, I don't feel so bad about my -1 anymore.
What I find most hilarious is that doing the math, Branson and Humphrey technically rolled the same, just with a different modifier.
Yeah.
Razvan, insight?
I'm so sorry. It clicked and did not do it, so give me 1 second. I will do it again.
Oh no.
16.
You're good. Razvan. You've been keeping track of the words being said, and I have to ask you above game, Zan, do you know who this is?
I do not know.
You do now. You realize, as she has asked you, in her transparency, do you doubt me now? That this is the same old woman that was knitting socks outside of the building.
Oh, okay. I believe we've already met the Baba.
You have. Do you still doubt?
I have no room left for doubt.
I didn't doubt from the start.
We are being transparent. I find it hard to let the habit of being cautious, but I will choose to trust you.
As will I.
A choice not taken for granted. Please understand that. And she whips out, again from her sleeve, a very ornate, very opulent chalice from her sleeve, and she dips it in this liquid. Branson, before she had dropped whatever mysterious thing it was that she had put in there, it originally was clear. Now it is a vibrant blue.
Mm.
She dips the chalice in and she hands it out to you, Razvan, first. If you find my terms agreeable and you find my words honest, take thee and drink.
Razvan will drink from the cauldron.
You take a drink. It's a weird sensation. At first, it tastes like nothing. But then after a moment, Razvan, what is your favorite food?
Probably a delectably rare lamb chop.
It tastes like that honey glazed, dripping off the bone.
He will simply nod and try not to make a face so that the others make the decision on their own volition.
Roll me a deception check.
Razvan deception 8.
And the rest of you, if you would like to insight, feel free.
I feel like Branson would not care.
Okay.
Humphrey would.
Oh, Skip, I have a minus
Oh,
one.
that's now that's a
Oh,
24.
look at you go.
You can't read her, but you can read Razvan.
Razvan will have like a slightly twinged grin that he's trying to suppress, but you notice it.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll pass the cauldron to Onyx.
The chalice, yeah.
Or Chalice, I'm sorry, yeah.
Onyx, do you take the chalice?
Yes, I accept.
Do you drink from it?
I sniff at it first, and then take a cautious sip. Yes.
What is your favorite food?
Tuna.
Let's see, a sweet pea. Yeah, you know what? Let's go with tuna because that's hilarious.
It's delectable. This is like good fatty tuna. This is like what you would
Fancy.
expect to eat like nigiri on like a rice patty. Like this is the good tuna. This is the good shit.
It's the
We eat
infernal
fancy
chicken of the
feast
sea.
out here.
Yeah.
Okay. Who do I pass it on to?
Humphrey
I think
looks at Bronson.
Humphrey's next to me. Isn't Humphrey? Okay. I just hand it over to Humphrey.
And I think at this point, everyone just slowly head turns to see how this is going to work.
Yes.
Yeah, Humphrey waddles forward, grabs the chalice.
Yeah.
And he brings it to his face. Thinks for a moment, just like basically like splashes it on his face.
Interesting.
I guess the best way I would describe it is that it absorbs.
I would imagine
Like
so,
it-
yes.
Like the way that an ooze absorbs things. What is your favorite food?
Humphrey is very fond of pastries.
Is there a specific one in mind?
Honestly, simple stuff. I mean, simple in the sense that like it's a sweet pastry. Nothing like yes.
A
It's
simple
a chocolate
vanilla.
croissant.
Mhm.
There you go.
Delectable. Nice, warm, fresh out of the oven, glazed with chocolate sauce. It is very good. You've missed this.
He savors the moment for a little bit and then handles the chalice to Branson.
Branson takes
That's
it.
when to go.
If you've ever seen a Russian who has been handed a shot of vodka and how they quickly just upend it to the head all in one go and then just put it down, that is how he does this. There is no hesitation.
And Branson, what is your favorite food?
I will say that before I say what it is, you all see a moment which you haven't seen in a while, like a moment of what seems to be like pure joy past Branson's face, followed by a look of pure anger. But his favorite food would be just a hearty meat stew, because they probably wouldn't eat much meat on the caravan, so they would only do it on special occasions.
I would like to imagine that your moment of joy is just like a half smile, not even a full one.
Yeah, but even then, the fact that the memory was brought up has already angered him, but he is just now Here you'll go. And he hands the chalice back to them.
She takes it, and with a wave of her hand, it just vanishes. And there's like a loud sort of the sound, the sound when like gears are thrust into motion and suddenly something unlocks and starts turning. The pedestal begins to quite literally turn and lower into the ground. A giant plank of wood like door covering over top. And she looks to the four of you and with a bright grin says, I once again cannot promise where this will take you, but I can promise it will take you out of here. So long as you are able to uphold your promise to me, you will not find out what happens to those who stray, to those who lose sight of their reason for leaving. And if you are ready, pick a mirror and step through.
Razvan will take off his hat, give a polite bow before taking a step with purpose into a mirror.
And much like the mirror at the very beginning, the first mirror that you step through, you all watch as it ripples, and Razvan, you walk through, and you disappear.
And Branson's just going to speak up. Specifically, do we have to just walk through the mirror he just walked through, or can anyone deal?
If you want to end up where he went, you should go through the one that he walked through.
He'll look to the other two. All right, let's go.
Onyx trails
Humphrey,
behind Branson through the same mirror.
Humphrey will close the line, but before going, he will also like take his hat and do a small bow. Again, choosing to trust you. Assuming I am not making the wrong choice, thank you for your assistance.
Thank you for, I guess the word I would like to use is indulging me. And she waves her hand like as a goodbye, and she herself proceeds to walk through one of the other mirrors.
Very well. And he walks his way towards the mirror with the rest.
As the four of you walk through, you're gonna have to bear with me because this image is a placeholder.
Oh.
Oh.
You
Ooh,
find
pretty.
yourself walking through what you thought was a mirror, and on the other side is nothing but mist. You find yourself amongst swampy woods and in seemingly nowhere familiar, the haunted sort of visage around you woods.
So, can I ask which area of this placeholder are we exiting through?
It does not matter.
Ah, okay.
It does not matter. Like I said, it's kind of a placeholder, but this is kind of the general vibe that you're getting
Okay.
until I have an official image to place in the background.
All right. Well, I'd say Branson make sure that everybody is all together, like there was no chicanery.
Yeah, do we just step in or do we?
No, you are there. You're there.
Oh.
You step through the mirror. You are through the mists. You are there.
All right. Well, we made it through. Let me check something. And in his head, he'll just go, "Voice, are you here?"
Roll me a D100.
Okie dokie.
100 voices.
36.
Doing the Randy Orton roll to hear voices in your head.
Currently, do not see nor hear anything out of the ordinary, but I will use this as an opportunity to request more than one roll.
Oh, please.
To whomever would like to take it, I need, and from different people, 2 different D100 rolls. And from everyone who wants to, perception checks.
Will do.
95 on the
Ooh.
D100 and 13 on the perception.
A second.
22 on my perception.
And on my end, that's a 13.
8 on perception, which I think is tracks because I basically just tried to see, like, hey, God, are you there?
And I need 1 more D100.
That'd be either Citric or Sheila, because I already rolled one.
Sheila, the floor is yours.
Need to get into my sheet.
You wouldn't do it from your sheet. See on the sidebar over here, the little dice at the bottom of that thing on the top left?
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, click that. And it'll
D100.
yeah.
There we go. I see it.
Yeah. 84.
First things first, all of you would perceive this. There, first and foremost, it is heavily overcast. But to the east, or you think it might be east? It's your east, maybe. Don't think about it too hard. You're definitely lost. But at least in that direction, you can see a storm brewing. It's not here yet, but it's on the horizon. You can feel it in the wind. It's definitely coming.
I have a question.
The other thing.
Oh, please.
Yes. You go first.
All right. I would like to know, from the storm head we are seeing, do I hear a roll of thunder?
Not yet.
Mm.
Not yet. What you do notice, my 2 13s.
Mm-hmm.
As indicated on this image, you do notice that there is a good deal of foliage that is both alive and a lot of it that is dead. You see many trees that seem to either be full of blight or just flat out dead completely. You notice, again, 13 and 22, that the ground itself is just shy of being mud, aside from the actual small waterways that you see around you. The swampy pools that linger around you, that you aren't quite sure if the water in them is moving or if it's still. But there's one thing that on a 22 perception is going to note you the most. And it's actually the absence of something. Why, for you, Onyx, especially one who would be attuned to this, why are there no birds chirping? You see no tracks or signs of animal. You see no indication of wildlife, of prey. You hear nothing. You see no signs of life. And I ask my dear party, what do you do?
Well,
Good.
well, we know there's civilization. Well, actually, no, I can't say that because, again, this is a placeholder, so sorry, I got carried away. We should look for signs of civilization. There's a storm coming.
And let us not
I
forget
don't
our
think
words.
there's much to be found here.
Let us not forget our words. You both look for an escape as we travel. I will see where my curiosity takes me, and you look for your little revenge that would hopefully sedate your heart.
All right, well...
Following our
Oh, go ahead.
following our promises, I guess.
And I find it best that if you wander into the unknown, wander with confidence. Razvan will hold out his left hand and then follow his left hand and just start walking.
It is
A
fine.
direction is better than no direction.
Real quickly, can I just try something real quick?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can I roll a survival to see if there's any sign of tracks or a path that would lead to civilization? Because even if there's a path, then that means that one of two ways will lead somewhere.
Absolutely.
That's a 1. Well, it's a 6, but it's a
Wonderful.
natural 1.
You don't see any human tracks, but you do see... Well, it's hard to determine what exactly it is that you're looking at, but you definitely see that something has gone through this mud. But it's not boot prints. It's not paw prints, for that matter.
Does it look like something that's been dragged? Because that would eliminate tracks.
Yes.
All right, Razvan. Well, for a question, is it going in the direction Razvan pointed?
It is.
All right, he'll just go. All right, be careful. Something was dragged this way. I can't tell what it is because it eliminated the tracks of whatever dragged it.
See? Confidence.
Branson will sigh and just pull his axe off of his belt and just keep it at the ready.
Hopefully we'll walk along. At least it's
Waddle
not the
along.
carnival anymore. Waddle along, yeah.
Waddle.
I was just about to say, you haven't made any like reference to how hard time would be. Like, you're really getting used to walking.
Over time, I hope. But
I hope
again,
Sorry, go ahead. This is a buff game.
but I hope this is not that much of a long-term situation. As you have seen, this is not a natural state for me, and I find it rather uncomfortable.
Yes, I too hope you find your way out soon.
Which is interesting because I thought this was a one-time thing last time. Again, when we met at the old house. The first time we met. The fact that I keep reverting to this is worrisome in a way. I don't know exactly what it is, but I react to this place this way, or this place reacts this way to me.
I don't know of anything about the mist other than it sweeps people up in it. That was the last time I saw my prey.
My own experience with mists is not the best either.
But we at least are exploring the mists not alone, which is a key difference, I think.
1,000-yard stare from Razvan.
Imagine how many lost souls have arrived at the carnival to be fearful of never returning, and through that fear and paranoia, they'd isolated themselves and fled to the mists alone. Like, potentially this poor sap who was dragged through the mud. We are not alone, which I think gives us some a semblance of strength and continuity in this place that is beyond imagination. Take strength in that.
We have made it this far together. I have no objections on keeping it that way, and I appreciate your company. Humphrey looks at Onyx and Branson.
Could you repeat that? Sorry, I was responding to something in chat real quick.
Yeah, no. So that we have made it this far. I have no issue in keeping it that way. And for what it's worth, I appreciate your company.
I thought I'd be doing this alone. I will just endeavor to make sure you make it out alive.
I appreciate the company as well. Nods at Humphrey.
So, on to the unknown.
Together.
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 Branson does not say together.
Razvan will pull out his rapier and continue to follow the tracks.
I feel like this is a scene out of a Disney movie.
Will forever be upset by the fact that my microphone didn't pick up any of that.
Oh no!
What did you do?
Uh-huh.
Ah.
I will forever be upset. We will figure it out someday. Today is not that day. That's okay.
Yeah, you have to check your the sound canceling.
Did! I thought we fixed it. It's fine. I will figure it out another night. We were doing so well, and then we weren't. It's fine.
We still are.
Yeah, you were hearing the sounds of something being dragged and then thudding on the ground and then silence and then dragged and then thudding on the ground and then silence as you were having your little Disney speech.
Together.
The second he notices that Razvan will see Branson step ahead of him, and he will almost see it with such precision and speed, it almost appears like it just appears in his hand, a hand axe in his opposite hand. And Branson is going to try to see what is making the sound.
Roll me a perception check, anyone who wants to find it.
Absolutely.
19.
15.
Perception and...
Oh.
Have to step away for a minute.
21.
Be back soon.
You can actually roll for them if you want to.
Okay. That's good to know. I'm going to do that.
Because of Saved by the Spell, I am aggressively aware that if you have the permission as a DM, you can open any character sheet you want and roll. Especially when you have to make 20 NPCs and give them all character levels.
As you do. Ooh, 19.
So, you all notice that dragging that you saw, specifically you, Branson, had noted the dragging in the mud. But you all notice a little ways in the distance a figure cloaked in black dragging what appears to be a wooden coffin behind it.
Identify yourself. Branson will say loud enough for anyone.
It's like this person is like 40-50 feet away.
Oh, okay. Then Branson...
Identify yourself!
Hey, you!
Hey, you guys!
Also, I'll have you know, Citric, every time I envision Humphrey walking around in my mind, I just each step is like the SpongeBob stepping noise.
Yeah, pretty much. with the sound of his entire body
Okay, I'm
jiggling.
back.
Like, boing.
I would imagine we all see the strange figure up ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's fun to walk back to.
Yeah, we found someone
Uh,
cloaked in black dragging a coffin.
Which is probably what's making the dragging tracks. They're about 40, 50 feet ahead of us.
Are they facing our direction, or are we following
I think we're following them.
stealthily? Okay.
What do we do?
Your line of path is more perpendicular in nature to them.
Okay.
So you're getting more like a profile view.
Well, the first hint we have to interact with anything. What is the opinion? Should we introduce ourselves to our stranger, or do we not want to approach at all?
We should approach them, if only to ask where we are.
Well, where they're heading.
Very well.
Allow me to try to make introductions. I am not averse to speaking to gravediggers of different kinds.
Are you approaching?
Before that,
yes.
Before that, Razvan will also just remember. Not Razvan. Branson will remember something. Just put a quick hand on Razvan's shoulder and be like, "Also ask if they have a bucket."
While Branson is doing that, actually, Humphrey takes a glimpse at his lantern on the belt.
Hmm. If you didn't already have inspiration, I'd tell you to take one.
Write it down on
is
your
not
sheet.
changed. It is unchanged.
Perfect.
But as you draw close, are you I have to ask, and I didn't mean to cut you off, Zan, but I had to ask, like, are you doing it stealthily? Are you like are you sauntering up? Like, how are you approaching this person?
He is going to walk with purpose, not stealthily, but not marching either, towards the figure.
Approaching like Yotaro.
Oh!
As you approach, and I'm gonna carry over your perception, you actually begin to notice something as you draw closer. They seem to be chanting to themselves.
Ooh.
Jesu Domine, Laura eges requiem. Jesu Domine, Laura eges requiem.
Once Razvan feels like they are comfortably within earshot, if they don't respond to Razvan approaching, Razvan will attempt to repeat at the same time in the same cadence what the figure is saying.
Roll me a performance check.
On it, boss. 12.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
On it,
Oh.
boss. 18.
The
As
threatening
you
ones on the other side.
begin-
I know.
Chant along. It's 2 nat ones on the other side.
I know. I'm trying to ignore them.
I pretend I do not see him.
You chant along, trying to disguise yourself, and they do not seem bothered by you joining along. You, for a moment, feel a pull, like a compulsion, to pick up the coffin, but you shake your head and pull yourself together.
Kind of like phoning in, repeating the gesture. He's gonna just try and walk up to the side of the figure and walk alongside them.
Jesu Domine, Laura eques requiem.
Yes, Requiem indeed. My name is Razvan. I can't imagine that you would be out here alone. Would you have a name?
They just continue to chant.
See. Trying to get more details on the figure. Is it still just a black cloak that's walking?
It's a black quote. And
Are they tall? Are they short?
they're about medium sized.
Okay. What is the coffin being dragged by? Chain, rope?
It looks like the person has it by the handle and is like
Got it.
dragging it a little bit, and then in between lines of the chant, they seem to be dropping it. Like and then picking it up again, and then saying the next line, and then dropping it, and then picking it up again, saying the first line, and then dropping it.
When they drop the coffin, does it sound heavy or does it sound empty?
Oh, it sounds heavy. It sounds
Okay.
like that's mud, like that's soft ground, and it's still making a thud.
Razvan will kind of just bow towards the figure, just trying to be polite, even though the figure doesn't really acknowledge Razvan, and will head back towards the group.
Mind you, at this point, because of all of your perception checks, you all collectively too you wouldn't necessarily hear the words, but you could hear the chanting, you can hear Razvan, and you can see the rhythmic upping, dropping, very rhythmically happening in this moment.
I feel like we're trailing behind even slower than the other two.
Yeah, we're not catching up. We're letting them have a conversation.
They're going very slowly, by the way. Like he is not moving fast.
Yeah, I want to believe that like once they get out of like vague earshot, we just take a step.
Okay.
But yeah, just wait till Razvan comes back, because it sounds like he's heading back our way.
Yeah. Heading back. The figure continued to cite what sounded like some form of religious chant in repetition. They really didn't seem to acknowledge my presence at all. But the coffin that they drop between their verses, as it were, it does seem to sound like something or potentially someone is in it. The figure itself seems relatively harmless, assuming we do not provoke it.
Well, we know it's not undead because gestures at lantern.
That's good.
Whatever it is inside, at least it's not currently struggling, because the coffin is not moving on its own.
True. But unfortunately, does not give us much identification as to where we're going. If we choose to follow this figure, we could wander for days, even. Who knows how long this figure has been out.
Well, that is fine. Do not worry if we have to follow him for a while. I can create food for us.
Until we find another idea as to where we're meant to go, or we get another clue.
We still have a storm in our tails, so we better find some place
True.
to take shelter.
I would like to actually ask, is it heading towards the storm?
No.
It has the right they have the right idea, though in my experiences storms are nothing to fear.
Yeah, I would prefer not to be caught in the storm.
I agree.
Yeah, normal storms maybe. We don't know what this place is. We don't have the mist surrounding us, but we do not know if we can really trust the elements. If I am being too cautious, anyway. But yeah, following that direction doesn't sound like a bad idea.
And like I said, keep an eye out for, we will need 2 buckets.
All right.
Well, one is for you.
What?
I'm not sure if you're going to turn into a puddle again. I want to make sure if you do, we can keep you together.
Right, that did happen.
What's the other bucket for?
For when I create food and water, I have no control over it, 10 gallons of water.
And at the very least, if our friend here does turn into a puddle, I can at least put them into my hat. A temporary solution.
All right, but yes, let's follow this strange thing.
Not entirely comfortable with the conversation about handling my unconscious body, but very well.
We have to be practical, Humphrey.
I suppose so.
This is so on brand because we aren't engaging with them, so we just be talking over them.
Yep.
I'm just saying I would like to conserve some of my dignity, you know? But circumstances be as they are.
Jesu Domine.
They are really enchanted in that song.
I better ask.
Alex-
Do any of us get close enough? We have to make the saving throw.
Have you started chanting along?
No.
No, I didn't know that was the trigger.
Onyx, perhaps if you get closer to the target, you might see something that my eyes failed to see.
Okay. I've already noticed that there's a significant lack of life here. There's no sounds of creatures. Okay, I get closer to the trailing figure. Should I roll perception?
You are welcome to.
Right. An 8.
What exactly are you trying to perceive?
I'm trying to see if I can see any of the details that are being missed by everyone else, or if there's something else
That's
that I
fair.
can.
One thing that you can garner, even on an 8, you notice that the coffin is it's made out of wood, but either it's extremely old or it wasn't well made. You can quite literally even see like the lid almost, if it weren't latched down and locked down, that lid would have gone flying off. Beyond that, you notice that the figure also seems to be maneuvering around the natural sort of shall we say, the pools and the little rivers and creeks that are made in this swampy environment, which as you further look, you also notice in this moment, there are no fish. And I will give you one other thing, because I'm feeling generous, even though that's an 8. There's something odd about that water. I would like in this moment, the other 3 of you to also make perception checks, but for different reason.
Oh, sure.
Will do. That's a 9. Ooh! Not 20 for Branson.
To be fair, Branson's been 2 years living in the wilderness.
I'm sorry, do you want also a perception from Razvan?
Yep, from Razvan.
18.
Yeah. When did that second figure get there?
What?
There's now 2 people carrying the coffin. One at the front, one at the back, and they are still, for some weird reason, dropping it on the ground between lines. Humphrey and Onyx, you do not know this figure. You don't even notice this figure approach. Versus Branson and Razvan, you both watched as it seemed to come quite literally out of the left tree line. And just almost automatically, as if not even considering, with no greeting, no words, nothing, just beelined over and picked up another handle off of this coffin.
Are they dropping it at the same time and
Yup.
repeating? Okay.
Yup, it is in unison.
This is some kind of magic. I don't know what, and I cannot. I have the ability to cast one spell. I'm saving it for an emergency. But this is Go ahead.
Given that no hostilities have been declared, I would err on the side of keeping that spell, yes.
My point is, we have found some kind of ritual.
And it is growing.
Let us watch with caution, but I say everyone have a weapon at the ready.
Humphrey nods and looks at the rest.
Onyx nods and reaches for a dagger. Doesn't pull it out, but rests her paw on it.
Yeah, I should also point out at this point, Branson, for a long time, even while being casual, has had his battle axe in one hand and a hand axe in the other.
Yeah, Humphrey keeps his short sword at hand.
But yeah, it sounds like we're just going to follow this strange phenomena.
You're going to follow it?
Yep.
Okay.
There's
Roll
a party. Where are they going?
Roll me another perception check, all four of you.
Will do. That's
I have rolled 21.
21,
11.
7, 15.
And
Amazing.
11.
So, starting with 7.
Lucky number 7. Yes.
You notice that, and this actually makes a lot of sense. The mists are starting to roll and cultivate and move behind you. Not in the way that they did on your way to the carnival, but it seems like they are starting to coalesce and become thicker and rolling behind you.
Yeah, a chill immediately runs down Humphrey's non-existent spine.
Onyx, in addition to seeing the mists, you notice something else as well. Between you all collectively and the duo in front of you, you notice that there are these almost like swirling eddy, like almost vortex swirling eddies of mist that just kind of come near where you're walking, swirl upward and dissipate. Again, it doesn't seem like they're caving in on you, but you do notice this. Razvan, after a while, where did that third person come from? Why did that one come from a different they came from a different they came from the other direction. Like the opposite direction as that second person.
And then it appears there are 3.
And I will note the cloaked visage, you don't even see their hands. They're completely cloaked in black. Their hoods drape over their faces like veils. You don't see any indication of like skin or like humanness beyond just cloak and robe shape.
All right.
Branson,
Yes.
there are 3 of them now, and you would recognize these. There are now will-o-wisps. Not the same looking ones as the ones you saw at the carnival. These more ghastly, these ones more akin to what you're used to. Leading the path
Well then,
of whatever ritual is taking place.
knowing about will-o-wisps, I would first ask, has the lantern changed?
It has.
Branson is now just going. Well, now I have to decide because you have forced so much character growth in my little berserk angel, and
That's a sentence.
Yeah, you guys will. I assume everyone's absorbed in what they're noticing, but you will hear the creak of Branson's gauntlet on his hand holding his battle axe, and then you guys might notice that the light is now blue. And he will just say, there are undead here.
Keep your mind to caution and your eyes vigil.
I will ask, though, for clarity, if you want to make me do a history check or whatever, has Branson encountered will-o-wisps?
History check. With advantage.
Thank you. $12, no matter what.
Yeah. You actually have. These are not a common phenomenon, but you have seen them before. You are aware of stories that say that, myths that have been told that a will-o-wisp is often a sign of leading you or leading someone to their fate. You've also heard mixed stories. Some people believe that to be a bad omen, where it's leading you to your death. And there are some stories that you have heard where it is leading you to something potentially positive or potentially entirely neutral. You also, in your encounters with them, know them to not really be aggressive, if at all.
Everything okay there? Hearing a whole lot of stuff happening.
I'm good.
Okay, yeah. Branson will say, the motes of light, they are spirits. They do many things. Stay vigil. They sometimes lead people to their deaths. And again, it's ironic. He's a Yuan-ti. You've never seen someone more coiled to strike than you have ever seen Branson now.
Worry not, my friend Branson. This will not be the kind of spirit that brings me in. And he will give you bardic inspiration.
Neato. But I guess we keep following to see if this turns into a full yokai parade.
As I roll some die.
Bit of a wild hunt.
Ah, no, come back. Where did you go?
Damn it, we're
Well,
all
that
just
one's
Wait.
gone. Oh, it's all the way over there. I ain't getting that. It's
It
fine.
counts as a roll in our favor.
Think of it this way, Saris. You can see it and reach it. It's not lost.
Well, at first I couldn't see it, and then I shifted and I could. So 3 becomes 8. And the chanting eventually stops. You hear now mournful singing, like vocalization. There are no words, there are no lyrics. It's just vocalization. I need all 4 of you to roll me wisdom saving throws.
Will do. That's a nat 20.
I am going to spin my inspiration.
There you go.
9.
Okay. Game. I appreciate you're not doing it first, but can you stop rolling natural ones on the other side? Just stop rolling ones.
I
You're
will
making me nervous.
It's just there, a gentle reminder of what can be.
Hey, think of it this way, Zan. You have rolled better this entire session than Bertrand has in the last 3.
That's a low bar. Careful not to trip on it.
I am taking the high road.
You feel this compulsion. You find yourself falling in a line, taking the lead of your party, walking with your head lowered, your hands clasped behind your back. And you also begin to vocalize and hum. Over and over again, as you feel compelled to join, enthralled by what is in front of you, and your steps begin to walk in alignment, in rhythm, with their footsteps, not missing a beat. And the three of you watch as Onyx joins in their procession.
That awkward moment where we're not high enough level for the bard to have counter charm.
Onyx, do you okay?
I'm guessing I just continue to hum, don't I?
Miss Onyx? Gentlemen, get your weapons ready. I will get our companion. And Humphrey walks towards Onyx. Well, waddles. And he tries to grab her cape and toggle it like Mrs. Onyx.
Does touch break me out from it?
Roll me another wisdom saving throw.
Nine again?
Citric, get the spray bottle.
You definitely have Onyx's cloak in your hand.
Now she's free beaning and free earring.
Free spiriting.
While this is going on, Razvan and Branson, you would both notice the coffin is starting to shake.
Okay, at this point, Branson is literally just going to run up to Onyx. And let me know, because I'm not sure proximity is a thing, if I need to make another wisdom save before I do this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have to get in range of touch.
I would say because you've already succeeded the wisdom saving throw on the effect, you would not need to make one.
All right, well then. So much for having that one saved spell. Protection from evil and good. You can now re-roll that wisdom save. Because this effect, I would believe, would be considered possession.
Oh. So I can reroll?
That's still upstairs, because again, this could be a different kind of effect. That's why I put the message in the chat.
Okay. So, you may re-roll it.
It's worse. That's an 8. Goodbye.
Yeah, you want to be there.
Yeah.
So, do I sense that it does not take purchase before they start walking away?
Correct.
Well then.
You also...
I'm
not done yet.
Go ahead.
You need to roll me a 1d4.
Oh boy.
Oh, but well, actually, no, I think I have a 1d4 already on my sheet. Let me check. Being a cleric, I have so many things on a shortcut. Okay, no, I don't, so I have to use the roll.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can always just roll the die.
Again, I might have had... There's so many things that I have that I could just randomly roll. There might have just been a d4 programmed on my sheet.
Fair enough.
That's a 3.
Humphrey, please roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy! Had a nat 20 before. Let's see how this one goes. Magnificent.
How? Why would you say it?
But I have a point of inspiration if I can use it.
You may, if you would like.
That's a full reroll, right?
Yep, full reroll.
Okay. Well, like advantage, that 20 was nice. Wisdom save.
Mm-hmm.
11. A little bit better.
Humphrey, That tune is starting to sound real catchy. As you let go of the cape and begin walking in a line with your friend.
Okay,
That I do.
So since I'm still within touch, can I attempt something with Onyx?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna really quick ask if Razvan, you want to do something really quickly.
Razvan seeing this now Humphrey kind of waddling in unison, I'm assuming also doing the vocalizations.
Yup.
He's gonna take a deep breath, whisper a tune that almost is like a dissonant opposite of the tune, kind of makes a almost screeching noise, and cast silence above his party members, basically.
Okay.
Zan, you have used silence to the best in 2 different sessions, man. High five.
That's fairly doing some legwork.
All
Thank you for
right.
continually saving us.
Onyx and Humphrey, I would like you to re-roll your wisdom saving throws with advantage.
Oh, well, now I have it. That's 22 for me.
That makes it.
Oh, okay.
Both are able to. It's almost like the moment that everything goes deafened, you both seem to just snap out of it.
Yeah, you would have already seen Branson in the process of putting you in Sky Jail. So like he's bent over, he's got both his hands under your armpits, and it's just like, oh wait, everything's fine, but now I'm deaf.
What's interesting? I have to ask. Is there a distance on that area of effective silence?
20-foot radius. A sphere between a chosen point.
Okay, interesting. So, I don't actually have this prepped, but that's okay. That's what happens. 4 of them go aggro, immediately letting go of the handles, overtaken by the silence. They all pull out, seemingly out of nowhere, scimitars, and I would like all of you to roll initiative.
Let's go! Okay. First official combat of the series!
15 for me.
Natural 20, 23.
Let's go.
21.
Hell yeah.
Branson going.
Yeah, the tank going last, not ideal, but hey, we ball.
This is for all of you at home. Unfortunately, I did not have this prepped. So we're gonna have to theater of the mind this. I hope y'all are ready.
Oh no,
Theater
totally
of the mind. We have to use our imaginations in D&D. Oh fuck!
Imagine that.
Now I just want to be like Saris. How's your petard feeling?
Huh?
Hoisted.
You might have told me how much time you spent prepping stuff in this specific location.
But I also told you I didn't know where this was gonna go.
Fair.
I also told you I did not know where this is gonna go. So this is par for the course. This is correct.
I'm sorry. It's just I haven't got to use a hoisted by their own petard in a moment, so I'm stealing it.
Okay.
Also,
This
because
is
I'm pretty sure that
interesting.
I'm pretty sure everyone in this call but me actually knows what a petard is. So I will take a quick second to step away for 1 second, and I'll be right back.
Yep. This is gonna be super interesting, and because I like making things interesting, eeny, meeny, miny, you, Citric, roll me a d4.
Oh boy. Will do. 4, that's a 2.
Okay, 2. All right. Again, theater of the mind. They're roughly, I would assume, because you guys came up close, they're probably about 20, 30 feet away, because you said silence is 20 feet away. Those that are, yeah, 20 feet away. Like, because there are 8 of them, so that would, 20 to 30 feet away. It, like, in that range, shall we say. You are up first, Razvan.
All right. As Razvan is up first, let me double check this to make sure this works the way that I'm hoping. Razvan is going to enter the silent sphere as he still has up for concentration. I think up to 10 minutes. Yeah. He's going to enter the sphere of silence, so that way, hopefully that protects him from any further chanting, and is going to ready an attack for the first person that comes towards him with his rapier.
Okay.
That'll
Holding
be
your
his turn.
attack.
Mhm.
Yeah. Next up in the lineup, we have Onyx.
Okay, so Onyx had a dagger as they entered. She now pulls it out and tosses it at one of the approaching targets. Second. Let's go.
Oh, that was the damage. You have to roll
That
the
was
hit.
the damage.
Roll the name of it under name.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. I thought that. Is that what I did? Oh, okay.
You're
Here. Let me
fine.
try again.
You're good. You're good.
Oh,
There you go. Yeah. For a 9.
A 9. Unfortunately, you
9.
go in with that dagger swing, and they manage to parry with their scimitar your dagger.
Unfortunately, it's a gentle lob instead of a toss.
You have, I believe, a bonus action still left if you wanted to use it.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to I'm going to take a jump back and use a projectile weapon, my short bow.
Is that?
Can I do that?
Well, that's a
Honor?
DM decision, because what you're doing is an offhand
Yeah.
attack, so you wouldn't add any of your bonuses to it. But it's up to Saris if they
Yeah.
decide if you could use it.
I mean, I do allow
true.
offhand attacks. So if you are doing this
Yeah, I
as your
should have
offhand
checked
attack, then
Just
yes,
-6. So
just -6.
Yeah.
That would still hit. A 19 would still hit. What does it look like as you offhand shoot your short bow?
Okay, so I'm leaping back as I do it since my first attack didn't hit. I pull an arrow out, point it at the same target that's fastly approaching me, and loose my arrow in their direction.
Okay, and the arrow gets caught in the robes. It seems that you have in fact pierced something, but you can't, as the arrow sticks out, but you can't quite see if there's flesh or if there's blood. You are unable to determine that, but you do actually land a hit. And will that be your turn?
Yes.
All right. First and foremost, silence is still up, 20-foot radius. So let me... First one is going to... Yep, okay. The first one is going to come at you like full-on sprinting Branson, and is going to try to make an attack with its scimitar.
go right ahead. Number to meet is she is not scrolling, 16.
Okay. It comes in with a swipe and manages to You manage to bring up your shield just in enough time for it to slice off the top of your shield, managing to miss you entirely.
I think I
But
just
then
catch
it goes.
I catch you with my axe because I don't have a shield.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
You're
My
fine.
bad.
You
I
are
don't know why I
managing
said
so
shield.
you are managing so much. It's nothing to worry about.
But yes, the top of the top of your axe, and it would manage to just barely hit your head, but it misses. You watch then as it mutters something. You don't quite make out what it is, but you watch as a burst of light, of like this deep blue, comes off of the tip of the sword as like runes begin to light up, and they're gonna go in for a second attack.
Okay.
They managed to actually hit you this time, and I'm going to need from you a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy. 16.
16. All right, you. As the scimitar comes in and it connects with your, we're gonna say, shoulder, you take at first 9 points of slashing damage, and as it connects, you watch as that burst of bright blue turns into electricity as you manage to not be affected by the ability, but you do take 2 points of lightning damage.
Oh boy, these guys are hitting hard. Though it also tracks that Brance is the least affected by lightning damage.
You managed to save.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is going to go, and they are going to run over again in that silence. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Scratch that. That effect didn't go off. Requires verbal.
Okay,
You
so
just take the slicing. Yep.
okay,
Nope.
yep,
that was my bad.
I will take back that because I was almost at half health.
Yep. Nope. That was my bad. Glad I caught it. This one also is going to come after you. It's a side note. Good move on you, Razvan.
Silence.
Yeah, because it didn't even dawn on me until I went for the second one, and I was like, wait a minute, that was verbal.
Yeah.
No, that's illegal.
Maybe please stay outside of the silence so you can heal.
So the second one is going to come after you, Humphrey, and it is going to swing a scimitar. That's gonna meet it. So it comes with its scimitar and it slashes, bringing it with a flourish straight down on your ooze, your jelly-like body. It's interesting because it's sort of in the way that Jello does, kind of slices through. And you watch as this figure seems completely unaffected by your being, so to speak, as it goes in for a second attack. And this one will miss, completely just swiping over the top of your head, as I imagine you kind of just bounce down, avoiding it. And that will actually lead to your turn, Humphrey.
First of all, how much damage did I take?
You're right. That was maths 7 slashing.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, I would say like Humphrey takes the first attack, and as he's stumbling back, he would like avoid the second slash, and left with no place to run, he will actually like step forward with his short sword. So, come on up.
So
Yeah, give me a second. Here it is. Not 20.
crit.
Damage. Let me
What
click
does it
damage.
look like?
Oh, it's not letting me click damage.
It shows the damage
Usually
already.
it should.
It's already there.
Oh yeah,
I
right,
see
right,
it.
right, right. Sorry, my bad.
What does it look like?
As he took a step back, he steals himself and like lunges forward with the sword. He's aiming probably somewhere around the thighs because he's a lot smaller.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm just imagining that.
Skewering.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, so he's skewering the thigh of the guy that just slashed at him.
It's interesting. You, as you pierce this guy's leg, you do feel flesh. But you don't see any physical sign of, like, blood. Damage is
So
damage.
And because that was a crit, I believe is it double or?
It is.
Oh, nice.
It's already factored in on that damage there.
Yep.
Okay. That
Anything
was
else
my
you would
action.
like to do?
That would be for now. Humphrey's again, like still trying to get comfortable with moving, so he's kind of panicking a little because there's stuff he wants to do, but he's just not sure if he can pull them off. So he's standing in place.
Okay.
I'm just imagining that meme. Babies only understand violence.
The third is going to move once again towards Branson.
I'm doing my job.
And with a clank clank, goes in for 2 different swipes, and you manage to parry both of them with your axe.
Oh.
Branson, it is now your turn.
Ah, fantastic. So I want everyone to picture, because this is going to be a regular thing for Branson, the black and white guts screaming meme. As he literally just hoists up his axe, slams it down, not at either one of them, but I need to know, so it's only 3 of them that are attacking us, correct?
There are 4.
Okay. All 4 of them must make a wisdom save, I believe, let me just click it. As I use the channel divinity that I got back when we short rested, because I used my abilities to the max. You can feel how much he is screaming, though not hear it, but then you feel a very strong static discharge. As again, they must make wisdom saving throws.
1 pass, 3 fails.
Okay, so 3 of them will take. Just let me find it here. I have so many things on this sheet to. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Where are you, damn it? There it is, there it is. $16 force damage. As literally bolts of lightning come down from the sky and just hit them.
It's interesting. You definitely do damage. You can hear the sizzling of flesh, and yet they look unbothered.
That's fine. Razvan just makes sure he is in the way of them getting to either Onyx or Razvan. And he literally just has this. He is no longer... You assume that if he was frothing at the mouth, it would be on par. I also just realized that no matter what I have, if they actually had their abilities for magic, I would have advantage on every roll, because Yanti.
There you go.
But that's literally all I can do right now. Actually, no! Bonus
right.
action! I forgot! Literally, he's taking
That's
the hand...
for my bonus action!
Yup! Literally, the one by Humphrey. Like, you guys will watch as, literally, as naturally as someone breathes. He hurls a hand axe into this thing's head.
Okay! that's a 22. 22 to hit. Yeah,
For
that
3
hits.
damage.
Damage is damage.
Yeah. Like, he literally just reaches down, pulls off the L hook, throws in one single motion, and he has not taken his eyes off the 2 in front of him. But that is
The
literally
fourth
now everything
one.
I can do.
I should ask, which of the 4 did you throw that hand axe at?
He threw it at the one in front of Humphrey because he can't get there.
Okay. Good to know, good to know.
Yep.
This last one. Woo! It's gonna beeline over to Razvan.
Does Razvan's ready attack go off?
It does.
Go. Swing. 16 to hit
16 will hit.
or 11 piercing.
11 piercing.
Meaty.
Good damage. Good damage.
Nice.
And again, as you go in for the pierce, for the stabby stab, you feel it go through as if it were flesh, but you see no evidence of a wound.
Okay.
And it's going to take 2 swings.
Oh, wait a second. I actually have a question because I forgot about the second
Yep.
half of this. Is this one of the
Yep.
ones that failed?
The one going towards Razvan?
Yes. Because you said
Yes.
3 failed. Then it has disadvantage because it's attacking something that is not me.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, then it's gonna try and I just kind of imagine Razvan that you parry both of the sword swings, very very fencer like,
Okay.
very very fancy. Unless you have something else in mind, but both of these attacks will miss.
No, that makes sense to me. Kind of keeping his distance, lunging. Yeah, that's still the enemy's turn, so I was gonna say it's.
And that's the end of the enemy's turn, bringing us back to the top of the turn order.
All right, I think that's Razvan.
It is, with Onyx on deck.
Razvan will attempt a second swing. Only 9. You know what? I'm gonna use inspiration.
Okay, use your inspiration.
23
23 will hit.
or 5 piercing.
Do the math. Okay, yep, that's... Once again, you do another stab. Another stabby stab.
And unfortunately, there aren't any bonus actions that would make sense here, so Razvan will hold his ground. That's his turn.
Okay. Next up, Onyx.
Okay, Onyx is still going to try to keep things as long range as long as possible, and is going to attempt another dagger throw from a distance.
Okay.
Let's.
For my sake, which of the 4 are you aiming at? There are 2 at Branson, 1 at
Oh,
Humphrey,
sorry.
and 1 at Razvan.
Which one am I? Let's see. I think the one that's by Humphrey was the one I was closest to, so I'll
Okay.
go for that one.
Sounds good. And that's a 25 to hit. That sure hits.
Okay.
And you do get sneak attack on this. It's really good. Really good damage.
All right. Let's see if it works this time. I think I couldn't use it right last time.
Just shoot with your bow because if we wanted to make everything for offhand attacks, we'd have to program them all. Yeah, you just need to make a regular roll with your short bow.
Dagger, you mean?
Oh, you're throwing another dagger. Well, you still need to roll with the dagger.
Dagger. Okay. Yeah, daggers I have plenty of, so.
Natural 1.
Yeah. Okay.
Okie dokie.
Well, the first one.
The dagger, you attempt to throw it, and it sort of just kind of spirals out of your hand and falls straight into the mud below you.
The worst
Okay.
could have hit me.
All right, I guess that's my turn.
Alrighty. The one by Branson.
These two get both straight rolls.
How long does silence stay up for?
10 minutes. So
10 minutes. Okay. Those are both gonna miss.
Okay. Doing my job.
This next one is that's attacking Humphrey. That one gets disadvantage, correct?
Yes. Basically, any of them that failed that are attacking anyone other than me will have disadvantage on any attack. I basically hit everyone with compelled duel.
Humphrey, you watch as this one also swings twice at you and misses both times. It is now your turn.
Well, Humphrey goes once again for a launch against, this time, the other leg. The idea is that he's trying to incapacitate it. And 15.
I regret to inform you. You do not make purchase. You almost think you have it for a minute as you catch the edge of the cloak, but your sword does not make purchase.
Humphrey feels a little frustrated at that, but again, like he sees his options, his current status, and he will just stand his ground, looking up at the thing in front of him.
Yeah?
That's turn.
Absolutely. That's turn. The second one that's going after Branson. Wow, we're doing great, y'all. Goes for 2 more swings and misses both of them. And
Doing
that
my
makes
job.
it your turn.
Okay. Well then, Branson is literally just going to swing at the one directly in front of him. Well, it's hard. He's going to swing at one of them. You pick which one, because again, we don't have like a theater of mind.
Gotcha.
But I am swinging two-handed.
Sounds good.
So, quick question: when we got here, if I remember correctly, Razvan gave bardic inspiration to Branson, right?
Yes,
Correct.
he used it on the save.
I did not actually use it. I didn't use it on a save. I used my regular inspiration, so I still have it. But that's an 18 to hit. Now here's the question: do they take the extra force damage?
They do take the extra force damage.
So then you will literally see Branson he literally pulls it up in one fluid motion as lightning starts crackling across his axe, brings it down into this thing's shoulder for 16 points of damage collectively between slashing and force.
That's
nice.
a really good hit. What feels so jarring to all of you in this encounter is that you know that you are doing damage. You can physically feel your weapons making purchase, and they seem unaffected.
That's fine, because Branson then again, in the same motion, which I would almost say, hey, Saris, remember that thing we talked about for Branson?
Mm-hmm.
We could maybe have the party do an insight check, as again, he just, in one fluid motion, hand axe at the one fighting Citric.
Sure.
That's a 15 with a nat 20 on the other side.
Unfortunately, a 15 will not make purchase.
Okay, so I'm going to assume it's going again for the head, but it just slightly slips back.
Mm-hmm.
But since there is an invitation to an insight, may I roll?
Yep. Insight.
Will do. Wonderful.
Oh my gosh.
Too busy fighting. Too busy fighting.
Yeah, I was about to say, anyone else want to take a roll?
I'll try.
And here y'all were commenting about the nat ones on the other side.
Well, yeah, now I get bardic inspiration back though.
14.
And a 13 for Razvan.
I would say it's pretty easy to read for anyone who's ever trained with a blade. You get a sense that Branson knows only how to swing his weapon to kill. This man has never trained to not hurt anything when he swings his weapons.
And with that, is that turn?
Yes, everything I can do.
The last one goes in. I know that you said it's with disadvantage. I regret to inform you, Razvan.
Mm-hmm.
The first swing goes in and it aims, slicing across your side.
Okay.
Just barely missing your vitals.
Ooh.
Ooh.
The second one goes in, makes purchase in your shoulder.
Ooh.
A collective total of 15 slashing damage.
Oh.
All right.
The other problem, though, concentration.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
I'll
2
make
rolls.
2 different ones. Good and good.
Nice.
However,
Nice.
as the 2 blades make purchase, yes, despite your silence spell, the coffin bursts open. A giant cloud of black smoke erupts out, extending higher than your silence will go. It lets out a horrific shriek, and as it does, all 8 bodies drop dead as if their life force is sucked out of them by the scream. And this thing, yes, your lantern is blue. This thing flitters off into the sky, and we are out of initiative.
I feel like
Razvan will immediately drop silence and drop to a knee.
I was about to say, you just hear Branch just like, ah! As like he has not even registered any color of the lantern. He is just in blood haze.
Okay, and he's trying to breathe heavy, but he's on the issue. It's like it's a reflex, but he doesn't manages it with his current body.
I more assumed you were
Just
going
kind
to
of
be rubber
frustrated
hosing.
Yeah, kind of frustrated at himself. We somehow made it through that one. Anyone has the slightest idea of what happened?
I do not know.
Johnson?
Is the light still blue enough? Like, I would imagine he might have registered the thing flying up, but couldn't hear the scream because of silence.
Oh, no, well, yes. Yes, actually, because of how that works. But I mean, you registered the fact that it screamed. You could see it. You could see the jaw unhinge. How far is that radius on that?
300 feet. 300 feet.
Yeah, it's still blue for a while. Even when this thing is out of your line of sight.
It was possessing things. They might have been bodies. They might have been unfortunate souls. Are the will-o-wisps still around?
They are. They're popping around the coffin.
It seems they're drawing spirits. This will be something to put in my book. As you just see him now just slowly start to relax, but he's now just immediately like sheathing his axe and putting his hand on the very big wound across his chest that he received.
In visions of the dark night, I have dreamed of a joy departed. But the walking dream of the life and light hath left us broken-hearted. He will cast Cure Wounds on you.
Thank you.
8.
Oh wow, that's enough to get me to full.
Let's go.
Actually,
In
no,
this
one under
moment-
full.
Onyx, with advantage, roll me perception check.
Right?
He's also going to take a moment to cast it on himself.
Hmm.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Oh,
4.
good thing for that advantage. Good thing for that
Yeah,
advantage.
yeah.
That's a 10. And a 10 is what you needed. In the direction that this thing flew, your eyes fall upon, as eerie as it is, 2 different things. Number 1, a naturally occurring cave covered in surprisingly different glowing fungus that kind of light it up. And just out far enough, probably about 150 to 200 feet away, you see the edges of a cemetery with a chapel in the middle, and with that in your sights, that is where I'm going to draw close in today's session.
Let's
Alrighty.
go.
Yeah.
It's not a Domains of Dread if everyone in the party isn't hurt and out of spells.
That's really good timing because I just sent a picture as to what's happening to my headset and chat right now.
Yeah.
So
Cat problems.
it's now all 4 claws on. How'd you do that?
For the chat, that would be an actual cat. That would be an actual cat.
Dealing with cat modifiers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This was him just as like combat ended.
The scream!
He just leapt.
But yeah, no, this has been a great time. So, I know that, several of us need to start getting ready for things. So,
Yep.
Sheila, how about you go first? Just tell people where they can find you.
All right. You can find me on Instagram at Mugimira, MUGIMIRA.cause. And that's about it. Thank you.
Pass it to somebody else.
Let's see, Citric.
Me. Hi, I'm Citric. You can find me pretty much everywhere at Citric King. By everywhere, that would be Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and other places if you look far enough. As for what I do little stuff and I post it in those places. And I've been trying doing commissions, which might happen, but you have to keep an eye on my socials for that. And that is pretty much me. So I'm throwing it back to Zan.
Hi, you can find me over on Twitter over at Zanny_Grim. You can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/ZanosGrim. Tomorrow I'll be hosting a D&D game, weekly D&D game. We're coming back for the first time in a few months. Over at around 7 p.m. PST, and then on Thursday I'll be back over on twitch.tv/Monty Clue's channel for more Dungeons of the Mad Mage at 7 p.m. PST, where we're fighting a massive red dragon and their child red dragon. So if you want to see that, there it is. And aside from that, that is me, and I will toss it towards Saris.
Hello, I am Saris. I am all over the internet, Blue Sky, Tumblr, Twitter, everywhere as Tixtixel. I am doing the arts, doing the nerdy stuff, prepping this game. You can catch me every other Saturday for No Love War Extra, where we are dying Squirtle in the backlot of a Wendy's. And you can find me every second and fourth Sunday here, DMing in this particular game. And with that, the proverbial talking skull goes to the talking skull.
Why, thank you. Hi, you've already found me here at twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Blue Sky at BurnoutVaughn, and on Patreon at Burnout's Bar, where eventually I will give you more rewards than just the single subclass and the art credits that have been going out. I'm trying to make some things happen. But aside from that, tomorrow we have more Wizard Sibs plays where me and Zymocyte play as our D&D characters from our Strixhaven game as we play through the Resident Evil series. We have all the DLC for Resident Evil 4 up there, so we're going to be playing as Ada Wong, a character that divides both of our in-characters' opinions. So enjoy that. Then on Tuesday, we have more Phase of Our Lives, our Wild Beyond the Witchlight game, where we are literally at the point where we have to hit a actual story beat that will change how the game goes. So tune in for that, because our Disaster Gremlin party is already not suited for anything with any structure. Then on Saturday, we will have more Saved by the Spell, where we've already had a whole bunch of character drama. We just want to move into our abandoned warehouse as a safe house because we're dealing with a blood cult. So much is going on. This is too much for an 18-year-old who's away from home. But with that being said, I already know who we're going to raid, and that will be one Aeon Protech Gaming, aka Mark Allen Jr., who's just playing a
Oh,
game
heck
to
yeah.
relax. Yeah, they are just playing a game to relax. They weren't able to do their 3-hour music challenge, so they're just hanging out playing it. Well, I think some team fight tactics. So what should our raid
Wait.
message be? Oh.
I was about to ask if we wanted to do what we wanted to do for rate message, and I was gonna suggest Nat 1.
Oh,
Fair enough.
Mark will love that.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Yeah, so our raid message would be Nat 1. We will see you all again in 2 weeks' time. Thank you for having this has been a great session. I'm happy so many people have been enjoying it. So yeah, we'll see you again
Yeah.
in 2 weeks' time. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.